Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I say?
Make we chat about it.
Or on left
Make we chat about it.
check and feel at the topic.
Oh, make we chat about it.
Latest
Make
news,
we chat about it.
all your
Make we
views.
chat about it. Check and feel chat for set. With your girl HP.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. It is another Thursday evening. Yes, it is another Thursday evening, and we are here again. And you know what time it is. It is about Jamaica track and field legacy. It is about our athletes. And of course, as you can see on my screen, tonight we are going to learn about Roxroy Cato, yes, a quarter miler. I call him quarter miler. He is a quarter miler. And of course, we're going to learn about who this person is who has contributed to Jamaica track and field legacy, two-time Olympian. And of course, we are going to hear everything about him tonight that he wants us to know. So I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. You know, even whatever challenges you're facing, just keep pushing, just keep going. But before I introduce Roxroy, before I bring him in for us to talk the things, I just want to remind you guys, I have two announcements. I just want to remind you that Raymar's Track Club is having their track and field event next week, the 31st of October. Yes, Rymar's Track Club in St. Mary. And remember, guys, we are supporting St. Mary. It is about St. Mary, and St. Mary is creating their legacy, their contribution. So Rymar's Track Club is a nonprofit organization that is set up in St. Mary. And of course, it is being run by a good friend of mine. His name is Markland. So next week, he'll be having a track and field event in the community of St. Mary. So guys, you need to register and you need to support. Register your team and go out and support St. Mary's grassroots, because believe me, a lot of our Olympians, a whole lot of our Olympians are from St. Mary, a host of them, including my guest tonight. I hope I'm correct with that data. So guys, just go out. It is 5,000 to 5,000 Jamaican dollars to register your team. So just go on out, grab some friends, drive down from Kingston, wherever you are, into St. Mary, and just support Rymar's Track Club. If you need any more information, there's a link in the comment section that you can click on. And of course, in a little while, Marland will be coming on to give us the phone number. Okay, so that's it. Rymar's Track Club will be having a track and field community event next week, Thursday, which is the 31st of October. So I'm asking you to go out and support. And number two on my list is that I'm also working on some projects that I would love to see materialize by the end of the year or early 2025. And of course, you know that anything I do has to do with Jamaica track and field legacy and our athletes. And of course, I am trying to source funding to get these projects off the ground. Now, with that said, let me bring in my guest for tonight. Mr. Cato is here with us, guys. Roxroy, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Great, great, great. It is good having you. Always, it is always awesome to have the Jamaican athletes on this program. I can tell you that it is a wonderful feeling. Um it is wonderful to have you guys and people learning about your story. And what I like about this is that each week I get a text to say, when are you getting this person? So people keep asking for you guys, and of course I
Mhm.
am here to bring the
Yeah.
story to them. But before we start, welcome each and everyone wherever you are coming from, whether you're watching from Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Asia, Antarctica, Oceanic. I hope I got all 7 continents. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And if you want me to see your comments, please come on over to YouTube and subscribe and stuff. And already we have Vonnie M, who is here with us. And of course, Vonnie M. Roxroy, she is a 1972 Olympian for
Ooh.
Jamaica and a 1976 Olympian for Canada. So Vonnie M,
Oh.
who is Yvonne Saunders, is a two-time Olympian for Jamaica and for Canada. And of course, she also competed for England in her early days. What a legacy. Tamika says good night. Welcome, Tamika. Rymars is also here. And Marlon, I'm going to ask you just to drop your phone number in the comment section for those who want to get in touch with you regarding your event that is coming up next week, Thursday in St. Mary. Now it is all about my guest tonight, Mr. Roxroy Cato, two-time Olympian. Roxroy, before we get into stuff, I'm just going to break the ice a little
Yeah.
bit with just 5 quick questions. And I
Okay.
hope Bonnie has her pen and taking this information
Ooh.
because a part of what I do here, I am also gathering data on you
Okay.
guys because one of my projects is that I want to set up a database, an online database. I'm trying to capture as much data. So, where in Jamaica are you originally from? I think I know, but tell us.
Good question. And I was born in St. Mary. I was born
Yes,
down
sir.
there in Gale, St. Mary. So,
Gail St. Mary.
yep, you said
Big
St.
up
Mary.
St. Mary.
I know. You said St. Mary, and my face lit up. I'm like, wow.
Yes, I saw it. I saw it. We are trying to do big things in St. Mary. What is your nickname?
Everybody in my family calls me Rocky.
Rocky. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Where do you currently reside?
I'm in Toronto, Canada.
Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
I figured, yes. Which basic school did you attend?
Revival. Oh my God, Revival Basic School. It's up there in Westmoreland, up there in the hills of Orange Hill.
Westmore. Hold on, we have to go talk about that. So hold on, we have to go talk about that. Miss Vonnie, I hope you are getting this information. So Roxroy, he is from St. Mary, born in Gale, St. Mary. His nickname
Mhm.
is Rocky, and
Yes.
he currently resides in Canada. Which basic school you went to, Papi?
Revival Basic School. It's in Orange Hill in Westmoreland.
Okay, and which
Yep.
primary school you went to?
Revival All Age. Yep.
Revival All Age
Yep.
and Revival Basic
Yep. I
School.
can't forget it. The basic school is in a church, and then they recently built. When I graduated, they just finished the. When I graduated grade 6, they finished like a proper primary school. It was like separate from the church, but proper one with just good classrooms.
Cool. Cool. I'm not going to ask you which high school you go because
Oh.
people, he was born in one parish. He
Hmm.
went to primary and basic and primary school in another parish. And guess what? He went to high school in another parish, which we're going to talk about
Oh
later on.
man.
Which university you attended?
So from high school, my first
Mm-hmm.
university was University of Technology in Jamaica. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, I went to Lincoln University in Missouri. And
I
then I
know that.
finished, yeah, and then I graduated from St. Augustine's down there in North Carolina. St. Augustine's University in North Carolina.
My word, Miss Bunny, are you Yvonne? Let me tell you, Yvonne Saunders.
Uh,
She is one of my main researchers. She's helping me to gather
mhm,
the data. So you started out at UTech, which is my
mhm.
alma mater, also.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm a
Hmm.
UTech girl. And you went to Lincoln, which I
Hmm.
knew. I knew about Lincoln, and
Yeah,
you also went to.
St. Augustine's University in North Carolina.
Wow,
That's the
wow! I
one.
love it. I
That's
love
the
it.
that's the school that. made me who I am today.
Interesting. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. But before we get into the real deal of that, tell me a little
Mhm.
bit about Roxroy as a little boy growing up in Gale, St. Mary,
Oh
running
man.
around barefooted and
Oh
in
good.
Pampers.
So I grew up on a banana farm. My great grandfather, that's what he did. He planted banana, and every Sunday he would go. No, Friday he goes to the market. Linstead Market he used to go to every Friday, and he sleeps there. He leaves after market is done. So that's me growing up as a kid, and then I think when I was 6 or 7, no, a little bit older. Don't quote me on this. We moved to my mom and my grandmother well moved, and then my mom went with her.
Okay.
We moved to Negril, and so that's how I ended up in Westmoreland at a young age. So
Wow.
Westmoreland is where the real roots are. Mind you, I used to go back to St. Mary every summer because my mom used to just drop us there and be like, "Bye."
Mm-hmm.
So we used to go back there every summer. But Westmoreland is where the grassroots is. This the
Mm-hmm.
beaches on Sundays. Run to the
West End
beach.
Negril.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up right. So if you know where the Negril Hills Golf Course is, right in that area, right in
I'm
that
going to
area.
be honest with you. I've only been to Negril twice. I lived
Yeah.
in Jamaica all my life, and I've only been to Negril twice, and it was for the reggae
Oh.
marathon.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Reggae
Yeah,
Marathon
the
incident
reggae
that started.
marathon. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
you were born in St. Mary, Gale,
Mm-hmm.
lived there for a few years, and then you
Mm-hmm.
moved to Westmoreland.
Yes.
Interesting. And we're
Yeah.
going to segue right into the
Mm-hmm.
next parish. High
Mm-hmm.
school.
Yeah.
You attended Green Island
Yes.
High School, right?
In Hanover, yeah.
In Hanover, right? I
Mm-hmm.
know that because when you told me that you attended Green Island, I'm like, but that's Hanover, the parish
Mm-hmm.
of Merlin
Mm-hmm.
Joyce Otti.
Yeah.
That's the parish
Yeah.
of Merlin Otti. And
Mm-hmm.
my question that I had to ask you is that you were born in the East in St. Mary. How did you ended up in the West? But you were already in the West, which was
Yeah.
in Westmoreland.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about your journey at in Hanover, at before you
So
even started running and stuff at Green Island High School.
okay, okay. So it all started at Revival, all age. So I was there. I was a soccer player. Love soccer. I was always very active, but my father is a mechanic. So I grew up mostly in the garage, just like running around in the garage and stuff like that. So when you do the CXC exam,
Mm-hmm.
you could pick the school that you want to go to. Basically, your top school. I know back in my time when I did CXC, it's like, okay, this is the school I want to go, and this is second, third, fourth, fifth, and Green Island was at the top of the list because I
Oh,
wanted
that's when
to.
you did the common entrance.
Yes, because I
Was
wanted
it
to.
common entrance in your time or
No,
was
it's
it
CXC,
GSAT?
CXC. No, it was CXC,
Okay, okay,
CXC
that's
in my time. So
okay.
that's how I ended, and it was one big thing too because there was a school right, literally like 15 minutes of high school. It's called Little London High School,
Yes,
literally like 20 minutes away from the house. So my mom is like, okay, that's where you're going to school because that's where your brother go to school. I'm like, so studied hard because I didn't want to go to that school, and then I ended up going to the school that I wanted to go to, which was Green Island. So
Green Island.
yeah, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. That's where I
Wow.
met. That's where I met Coach Mac, Sir Mac, Mr. McIntosh. He's the principal now, but when I was there, he was a PE coach and the track and
Mm-hmm.
field coach. He's the principal now.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. You've
Mm,
lived in three different parishes.
yeah.
Was there any difference in terms of culture? I mean, they're all in Jamaica
Yeah.
and stuff, but when you look at St. Mary, when you look at Westmoreland and
Yeah.
now Hanover,
Yeah. Yeah.
was there
There's
any distinctive
yeah.
difference?
Definitely distinctive because coming from Negril, things are more so it's because a tourist area, so it's fast, So it's developed. So everything that drops in Jamaica in terms of technology and stuff like that, I was already in tune with that type of stuff. And then going to St. Mary is like, okay, street lights don't there's no street lights on my street, right? But at the
This
same
is
time,
in St. Mary.
yes, but at the same time, you know, I don't shower in the house when I was a kid in St. Mary. You go shower at the river, right? And that's something we enjoy. Like people look forward to that. But in Westmoreland, everybody has a bathroom, and it's a different lifestyle. And then
Yes.
Hanover was like a bridge, right? It's like
Mhm.
that's where most of my friends at the time were from. So I spent a lot of time there, and it was almost like Negril, but a slower version of Negril, right? So yeah, it was
Yeah,
more
because they're
chill.
all in the West. They're all
Yeah,
in the West tourist
mm,
area and stuff.
yeah.
But hold that thought. Before we go any further, I see quite a few Olympians rolling in, and I'm going to
Okay.
call some name. And I know they might not sound familiar to you, but there's another Olympian that just rolled in. Her name is Vivienne.
Mm-hmm.
Vivienne Morano, but when she competed for Jamaica, she was Vivienne Spence,
Mm-hmm.
formerly of Veer Technical, standout for Veer Technical.
Oh,
She said,
okay.
"Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's good to be back after being away so long. Welcome back, Vivian. You were missed."
Mm-hmm.
Of course, J-Jar, he's saying hi. J-Jar says hi. Hi, Roxroy. A long
Mm-hmm.
time. So
Yeah.
that person knows you.
Yeah,
That's
man.
J-Jar saying hi. Carry is saying Carrie Ann Phillips is saying good night.
Yeah.
Vivian is saying, she said, hold on, I went to Revival All Aid School
Yeah.
also. Because
That's
I think
cool.
she is also from Westmoreland,
Yeah.
right? Vivian, I think she's also
That school is
from.
a very good school, and it's a very good school. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. She too is an Olympian, 80s,
Oh wow.
1980s Olympian. There's also Ethelyn Tate, another very technical
Mm.
standout, is also here, 1980s Olympian. Also, they are
Yeah.
here supporting. Um, J Jar is saying Roxroy, it's Giovanni, long
Mm.
jumper.
Oh.
Yes, I think she is formerly of St. Jago. Good
Oh.
night. Good night, J Jar. Good night. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. So, Ethelyn Tate is saying, Vivian and myself are from Westmoreland. So, Westmoreland, big round here. She said, we competed with St. Augustine in CIAA. I went to Hampton.
Oh
Wow,
wow.
wow.
Yeah. CIAA is big. I've St. Aug always window. It is what it is. St. Aug is just like a fun fact about that school.
Hmm.
It has the most NCAA championships in NCAA history.
Are you serious? So why
Yes.
are they so quiet?
Because it's not a Division 1 school. It's a Division 2 school.
Oh, it's a
But
D2 school. Okay.
when you do the stats about the male division, whether NCAA team that won the
Mm-hmm.
most championships,
Mm-hmm.
Tenog is at the top with George
Oh,
Williams.
wow, interesting. Andrea Bliss is also in the house. Hello, Andrea. Good night. Another star girl, formerly of Saint Jago. So Saint Jago and Ver is very much in the house. Always in the house. Always, always. Um, J Jar is saying, I've made several teams with you. Seem like seem like you're done for no, J-Jar, she's upset in her rocks right. She feel like
Very.
you forget her because she has made a lot of team with you.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Coach Kino.
yeah.
Coach Kino is also here, my good friend from St. Mary, and we're running a grassroots program in St. Mary. And of course, Kino is the very instrumental as the coach. Now let us get back to the man of the hour, Mr. Roxroy Cato. Um, what was a real I was going to I'm going to ask you I was going to ask you, I'm not even going to ask you again, what was a real motivation for
Mhm.
moving to the West? But you did explain that your grandmother moved
Yeah.
and your mom decided to go with her. What
Yes.
was a real motivation behind you taking up sports, specifically track and field? Why track and field?
Um. So it started. So I was always into sports, but I liked cricket and soccer. So I used to be a part of my primary school, early school soccer team. And then once I got into Green Island, I tried out for the soccer team, didn't make it. So I just, you just go about your business and just, but then
Try the next best thing.
so no, no. This is what happened. My brother at the time he was going to a different school, and he was going somewhere to compete at a track meet. So it was Kurt Vine he was going. I can't forget it. And it's a Saturday, and you get to go somewhere far on a Saturday as a little youth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how you get to go? And I'm like, how do you? And he's like, okay, I'm a part of the track team. That's why I'm going. So that's when I went to like when went back to like my school in Green Island. They had sports day and I competed in the sports day. I ran the 1, the 2, the 4, and also the 800, and I won everything. And then my high school coach at the time, which is Miss Cermak, was like, "Yo, you should join the track team," and that's how I ended up on the track team. And
Wow.
when I went on the track team the first time, when I started training, I became like the slowest person on the team because I actually was training and doing reps of exercises. So it's harder than just doing one run as fast as you can. But
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
once I learned how to train, then get better and better. But yeah, my journey started with my brother going to a track meet, and then I decided I wanted to go as well, and then ran at sports day, and then realized that I had some talent.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. That is a good enough
yeah,
motivation to be motivated by your sibling,
yeah,
especially by your sibling.
yeah,
Awesome. And this is why I like these stories, because I get to hear things that normally we as track fans
yeah,
would not hear. That is just awesome. The chat is very, very busy. Vivian is saying, while I was in secondary school, I competed with Green Island
yeah.
secondary. Wow. Dorothy Scott Genius, another Olympian from the 80s, is in the house. And guess which
Mhm.
school she's formerly from?
I don't.
Veer.
Veer technical.
Yes,
Oh, wait,
another Veer
sure.
girl. Yes,
Manchester.
another Veer girl in the
Yeah,
building. This program is well supported by
yeah.
Veer and St. Jago. So, Dorothy Scott, welcome. She is formerly of Veer Tech,
Hmm.
and she's saying hi to us and stuff. Let us fast forward and talk about your champs career a little bit. Did
Hmm.
you compete at boys and girls champs?
Yes, 1 year because I started a little bit late in track and field too. So
Okay.
I did 1 year at class one. 1 year at class one. I made
Tell me
finals.
about that experience.
It was very good. Sir Mac, he was experienced in bringing people to champs. At the time, he had one of the best long jumpers in Jamaica. So we were like the rookies, seeing somebody, from my high school who is making the Jamaica team and doing stuff like that. So going to champs, we were very confident. Actually, how I started running with the 800 and the 1500. That was my first event in track and field. And then Sir Mac,
I
Sir
love the
Mac,
middle and long distance.
yo.
Forgive me.
So, and then Sir Mac out of nowhere was like there was the Milo relays. Milo relays in Montego
Western
Bay.
relay, yeah.
Yes. So Milo relays. He said GC Foster at the time that was giving out free hurdles to high schools. So he was, but the only thing is you have to finish a 400-meter hurdle race to get two of the hurdles. So I never ran the hurdles before, and I was going up against big like men, like 19, 20-year-old people who went to GC Foster, right? People who were in.
Hmm.
So I went
Collegiate
and I
athletes.
Yes, so I went and I ran. I ran like what, 54 the first time I ran the four hurdles and didn't know how to just run and jump and just run and jump. And then we got two hurdles and that put me in the champs finals. I made the finals. I think it was me, Steve Bunton. He's a good guy too. He's somebody that you should try to get in touch and do an interview with
Find
him.
him for me. I'm ready to interview
I-
every
and
Jamaican athlete. Bring him on for me.
Yes, and Kevin, his name is Kevin Stewart. Kevin Stewart. I can't. And then Riker Hilton from Jago.
Yes.
Yes,
From St.
it was
Jago, right?
we were
Hilton went to, yeah. Yeah.
he was the big boy to
Yeah.
beat in the four hurdles. So my first champ experience was pretty good. It wasn't all bad. It was I had people to look up to. So I knew what it take, and I was confident because I was hurdling, and then I knew I was fast. So my first champs experience was good, and that's kind of what set me up because when I ran to champs and I ran, then that's when Stephen Francis over there from MVP saw me. And if you know how Stephen Francis recruits, he doesn't recruit the
Yeah.
fastest person. He recruits the
Mm-hmm,
guy
mm-hmm,
who finished fifth, sixth with the potential. So that's how I
mm-hmm.
ended up at UTEC. I could go on for days, because when I went to UTEC, I saw if I had the world record. Million Walker was the Olympic champion. Bridget Foster Hilton was the world champion. Is Shelley was the Olympic. I saw Shelley
Mm-hmm.
win at 18, 19. We saw that. We trained every day. I saw them, right? Every day. It's crazy.
What was it like though, being in that camp
It's
with all those Olympic
all
champions?
right. So the information I'm putting out now, and the reason why you even seen and you can say, okay, Roxroy Cato's legacy is because of the level of just Stephen Francis as a coach in 2008, because I was there 2007, 2008. He was where people are right now in terms of sprinting and sprint training. He was there in 2008. I knew about timing system, like training structure, how whew, he has a system, man. That's why he produces, the best athletes, no matter who you are, where you come from. If you're somebody who's anybody in Jamaica, if you go through his process, you will see the light at the
Yeah.
end of the
And if
tunnel.
you have the right mindset too, you have to
Yes,
have the right
yes.
mindset.
And then for me, being in that environment, it kind of helped me too because I saw what could happen if you really stay focused and actually
Mm-hmm.
train and be disciplined and actually be humble enough to take advice and just learn from other people. So it was in my opinion, I say I was truly blessed, truly blessed to come up
Awesome.
in that type of ranks. So
Yeah. Awesome,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
His legacy, you cannot avoid talking about it. You cannot
yeah.
avoid it. His legacy. And we're not just talking about one event.
Mhm,
We're talking about sprinters, we're talking about hurdlers, we're talking
mhm,
about field event
yeah.
athletes. He and his team is
Yes,
just
yes,
awesome. Just
he's one of
awesome.
the
Yeah.
best to ever do it, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
brought training at home
yeah,
to Jamaica
yes,
because
yes,
before your time, all our athletes were being trained overseas.
yeah,
Every one of them who would have competed for Jamaica,
yeah,
especially at the Olympic level, you name them,
yeah,
they trained overseas. They went to
yeah.
university overseas and trained overseas. But you see, when the 21st century come, I mean, we took off. It was like a totally different, when them
Yeah.
release new airplanes, the Boeing and the this and that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah.
he's good like that.
When I was there were people coming from all over the world to train. Because when I was there, he was training the fastest guy from Trinidad. His name was Darrell Brown. He
Daryl
was
Brown,
yeah, he
yeah,
was Darrell Brown was
yeah.
there. There was two guys from England that were there. The fastest 400-meter runner from like Barbados was there. It was so many. It
Mm-hmm,
was but exactly what you said.
mm-hmm.
He made it a hub, and until today it's still in my personal opinion, is one of like the best training hubs in Jamaica. Like if you're an athlete looking to improve, if you could, because his program is not easy. Nothing
Mm-hmm,
about
mm-hmm.
what happens there is easy, which it
Yeah.
shouldn't be, because track and field is something where if
It's
you're
a
trying to
job.
do,
You're going to
yeah,
work every day.
yeah,
You should have that business like
yes,
attitude. You want to improve yourself. You want to get to a certain level. So it's about going out there and doing the job. So I totally agree with you. Which you said you started out running the middle and long distance, which I love very much. When did you decided that you're going to stick with the hurdles?
after the first hurdle race, after that it was done.
After jumping the hurdles.
After that, I was, because coming from the 800 and the 1500, the pain, what you're gonna go through for that 3 laps or that 2 laps, and then to run a race where, okay, I could grow in this. I could Once I learn how to hurdle, I could
Mm-hmm.
be really good. So it was only a matter of time. It was only like just learning how to hurdle, and becoming a better hurdler. I pick up a lot of
Wow.
background music.
In inter it's funny that you talk about pain because for me personally, I
Mm-hmm.
think the 400-meter hurdles is the toughest track and field event. The
Yeah.
400-meter hurdles and the triple jump. I
Yeah.
don't know how athletes decide to do those two events. They just look,
Yeah.
no,
It's
no,
just
destructive.
no, it's actually they're pretty good events, you know. So any event where it requires a level of skill, right? So it's you could grow into it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why for the 400-meter hurdle, it's only just now you see like younger athletes are running extremely fast in the 400-meter hurdles. Back in the day, like when I went to the 2012 Olympics, Felix Sanchez won. Right?
Yes, he did.
At the time,
Eight
Felix Sanchez
years
was
after.
he is my age. He was my age when he won at that time. Like he was like 30s, and I'm like,
Yes,
okay, you
yes.
could grow into the sport as long as you
Mm-hmm.
learn, learn the discipline. Same with the
Mm-hmm.
triple jump. It's just learning the movement, learning, and then growing as an athlete. But you know, it's tricky. I'm hearing a lot of like noise. I don't know if you're hearing it or if it's me or you.
No, I'm not. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not getting a feedback. Maybe it's from
Oh,
your end.
probably.
Regina Montague, good night and welcome. Another of Jamaica top athlete,
Yeah.
formerly of Titchfield, went to Titchfield High School, an
Mm,
outstanding coach at Dintill Technical High School. Let us talk about college. You started out at UTech. What
yeah.
was it like competing for UTech? Because UTech is a powerhouse, when it
Yeah.
comes on to track and field. Well, back
Yeah.
then, not much is happening for our collegiate no, but when collegiate was hot,
Mm-hmm.
UTech was
Yeah.
hot.
Yes, it was actually like one of the first um real exposure to like what can happen when you run fast or when you rank in Jamaica as an athlete. So it
Mm-hmm,
was a
mm-hmm.
really good experience, and then I was on a team with a bunch of people who were extremely fast, and then you get to train. So the unique thing about when I was going to UTech is the professional athletes, the people who had the contracts, train. We're all in the same group. So when I get on the start line and we're running repeat 200, Asafa is right beside me. Um, Somebody like Willan Lewis is right beside me, who's a 400-meter runner. So you get that level. That's why the
Yes.
athletes were so good. You get that level of confidence, that level of push. So
Mm-hmm.
it was actually a really good experience, and that's what kind of opened the door. Because when I competed at UTech and we went to Intercal, we won Intercal, and then
Yes.
I ran like a really good time, and then you get that circuit on the Intercal circuit where you get to compete at track meets, you get a chance to improve. So it was pretty good. It was really good.
Awesome. From Green Island High School to the University of Technology
Mm-hmm.
to
Lincoln
Lincoln
University.
University.
Yeah.
What motivated that switch from Jamaica to a foreign country in the
Um,
cold?
that that was that was I after being at UTech for a year, and then new athletes come in every year, and then so this is how Stephen Francis kind of set up his system. If he sees where you have the potential to take it to the next level, he will encourage you to stay and invest in you, and he will help you. But if you're somebody who, okay, you have potential, but it's going to take a while for your potential to develop, or I could be focusing on a different athlete. So he still gives you that opportunity to be like, okay, there's schools who are coming who are looking to recruit athletes. So it was all through Stephen Francis, who was like, okay, you could either stay here and keep training, or you could take a scholarship and go and then come back. So that was the deal. The deal was, okay, go to Lincoln, get your degree, and come back. But I went there,
Awesome.
made the Olympics, and then it took off. I'm like, okay, I'm never turning back now. No, I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
going, see
Yeah.
where it
Yeah.
goes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it is very interesting that you said that. So he wasn't the type of coach to just have you there.
No, no, he's no.
He opened the door for
Yes,
other
yes,
opportunities and give
always.
you
Yeah.
that option to choose if you
Mm-hmm.
want to go and get the degree and
Mm-hmm.
come back to
Yes.
Jamaica, or if you want to stay where you are.
Yeah. Yeah,
So he
he
did
gave
not bound you where you had to
no.
stay and train. Awesome.
No, it was like two. It was between Auburn and
Mhm.
Lincoln University. Lincoln University,
But
this
Auburn, a good school.
I know, but this is what happened, right? Lincoln University, the scholarship, because I wanted to finish school. So the Lincoln University, I would have started school in August, regular school year. And then
Hmm.
for Auburn, I would have to wait until January, which would be like almost like I'm starting
Sit out a
missing.
semester.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So I was like, give me the first option. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because coming from Jamaica and then
Hmm.
landing in St. Louis, Missouri, I still remember like it was yesterday.
Any culture shock?
Whew, I wasn't prepared at all. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. Your family try to like encourage you. At the time, I had a lot of relatives who were living in America, so they were like,
Hmm.
they gave me like a good, like support system. Like, okay, you're gonna need a sweater, this and that. You like a little more money in your pocket. When I landed, and then somebody from the school picked me up, and then you step outside. Whew, it was cold, and then it only got colder and colder because I got there in August, and then by
Yep.
October, I was like, and then by November, it's like fully
Mm.
snow. I'm like, what's going on?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yo, it was tough, but it was fun. I definitely made my first Olympics team from down there. I definitely used to
Awesome.
wake.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome, awesome stuff. These are the stories that I like because, as you said, the culture shock. You're coming from the tropics where it's very warm
yeah,
and nice, and you, but it's not so bad. Is the people who start in January,
yes,
in the middle of winter, right dead
yes,
on in winter. I did
yes.
something like that, and
Yeah.
it it worked out for me, but it was the worst decision I made to leave Jamaica to start university in a foreign
Yeah,
country in the winter.
I know it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough. It is,
Yeah,
but as you said, you got over it, and
yeah.
it
A
all
full
worked
year.
out.
Yeah, full
Let us
year.
talk about the switch now. Why did you went to Lincoln University?
Hmm.
Things were working out. You made the
Yeah,
Olympic team,
yeah,
everybody's dream.
yeah.
Why the switch to St. Augustine?
So it was a combination of a lot of stuff. I felt Missouri, like Lincoln University, it was a good school, but the environment just wasn't for me. Like coming from, so when I'm contract, because I'm coming from UTech, I'm coming from MVP, I'm coming from Stephen Francis. So w- even making the Olympic team from Lincoln University, I had to take that into my own hands. As in, I would do my own training and then go to the school training because I have to go to school training to maintain my scholarship. Right. But
Mm-hmm.
after week two being at Lincoln, I was like, okay, what I'm trying to achieve, if I continue to do this, I'm not gonna get to where I need to be because I've seen people who I train with get there. So that kind of what fueled it. So my first Olympics, 2012, I actually coached myself. I was waking up in the morning. Think about this. My classes, I schedule my classes so I start at 9 and I would wake up at 6:30 a.m. and train.
In the cold.
Yes, I wake up at 6:30 a.m. And then how it sets up down there is like where Lincoln was, there is a high school right beside the university and the university track. If you go and train there, the coach will know and he doesn't want you to do double training. So I used to go across the street to the high school track and train early before people start, how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Mm-hmm.
people start moving and rolling out of bed at like 7 o'clock, whatever, and they roll. So I'm done training by them time. So I did that up until like I made the Olympic team. And then once I made the Olympic team, I kind of, talked to the coach, let him know. I actually went back after the Olympics. I
So,
went
so
back.
let me ask you before you go
Mm.
on, who was writing your program? How did you know what to do, how to do it, when to do it?
So that's again coming from UTech, knowing what type of training I used to do there and the results I got. And then when I went to Lincoln, the type of training I was doing and how, like simple things like we're in spikes a little bit early. So I'm like, okay, this is not how we're supposed to approach a season if we're trying to run fast, right? So little things like those. So what I would do is I had this, his name is, he was up there in Colorado State University. His name is Mr. Johnson. He's somebody who I would confide in about like how I'm going about training and what I should do today. But most of it was honestly just trial and error, just me remembering
Wow.
what I did at UTech and just understanding how you're supposed to train, right? And how you're supposed to take your time. And then I had time too because I used to go to the evening training as well. The evening training is at 3 o'clock. You can't miss it. If you miss three training sessions, then it counts as a demerit. So they're gonna be like, okay, you're gonna have to you can't go to
Yeah,
first
your
track
your
meet.
scholarship
It's on
is in
like you
is
can't
at
first track
jeopardy.
meet, they're not gonna want you to go, all types of things. So I used to go to the training as well and I used to jog. I used to train hard in the morning and then go there and I would jog in that training. And I made NCAA, I ran good, made NCAA, I made finals, but wasn't good enough. So the following year, so this was 2011, so 2012 year, Olympic year, I took the big leap where I trained, did enough to make NCAA, got indoor and outdoor, and got top five. But the goal wasn't to peak there. The goal was to
Pika
peak.
trials.
Exactly. So, so that's it's little things like those, and that's how even though, because I even though I train myself, I got a personal best in the 400 meter. Fun fact.
Look here, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the
Hold on.
trials last year.
So 20. So I I was fortunate enough to when I went to North Carolina, I ran fast enough at my second Olympics, and I ran times that were very valid, and I got a 4 year contract from Puma. Right, this year I ran faster than what I signed my contract with. At 20, it was 2014.
2014.
Yes, I ran
Wow.
faster this year than when I signed that contract 2014,
Wow.
and
Have
it's
you ever have you ever thought about stepping? I don't even know if it's stepping down or stepping up, but moving away from the 400 hurdles and running the flat four. You've ever
I've
thought
done it.
about it?
I've actually got a personal best this year too in the 400. So I thought about it. It's the 400. It's a little bit tricky. They
Hmm.
go hand in hand, right? So if the
Yeah.
faster you can run the 400, the faster your four hurdles is gonna be. But you still have
Okay.
to learn how to hurdle. So it's I still think I could run because I ran 46 for this year, and I think I could run faster than that. I only ran two 400 this year. Only two.
Right now, the 400 is one of those events where it is a sprint within itself because
Of
as it
course.
is now, is 43 doing it.
Oh, if you're not running
43,
46.
40, 45, 45 is not even a thing
Yeah,
anymore
I
in
know.
400 for
I
the
know.
men.
I know. If you're not running, if even in Jamaica, the 400 step up, and the four hurdles. But
Yep.
if you're not running low 44s, you won't make any finals.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. And on the global level, if you're not running 43, if you're not running sub 44, you're not
Mm.
making that final.
Yeah,
40,
you make final, but you're not gonna get a medal.
yeah, 40,
Top three.
40. If you're running 44, it must be 44 low,
Yes, 44.
extremely low,
Yeah,
based on what these men are doing with
yeah,
43,
yeah,
43 plus. It's amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing.
And
But
and
with
the,
all the challenges that you've had and all the things that you've went through, how were you able to maintain, to balance academics and sports? The fact that you're in a foreign country, you're in the snow, you have to
mhm,
get up early in the morning, you go and do some extra training, come
mhm,
back, go to classes, and then
mhm.
afternoon training. How were you able
It
to?
was it was honestly that was the easiest part. The hard part was kind of figuring out how I'm going to um get up and train every day. The hard part wasn't because coming from Jamaica, I'm not gonna lie. If you went to high school in Jamaica, the university system in America is going to be very easy. All you have to do is learn how to just be
Yep.
disciplined. To because
Yeah.
you get first day of class, you get
Yep.
you get everything. So you
Yep.
have a layout of everything. So that was it. You know what I used to do to make money? I used to write papers for people. I used to write
Listen.
papers. I used to
li-
tutor.
yeah. Yeah.
Easy. I'm like, you
Listen.
guys are just giving this stuff away.
Listen, anybody who are having children, I would
Hmm.
encourage anybody, let your children go to high school in Jamaica
Yep.
and then they
Yep.
can go to university
Yep.
abroad. Because
Easy.
let me tell you, when
Mhm.
a matter of fact, I want to tell a quick little story.
Mhm.
The culture shock for me when I was studying abroad was when it was exam time. They gave
Mhm.
us a list of what was coming on the exam.
Well,
When I was at UTech, look
mhm.
here, lecturer only say
Oh,
you're
oh,
getting a
trust me, I
test
know.
and you better study everything
Oh, I know.
that you got within that semester because they ain't giving you no outline. And I
Yeah,
was like, is this for real?
yeah. I
So
remember all
you so
night.
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
all night. When I used to go to UTech, and then I wouldn't consider myself like an extremely smart, over the top person, but I
Yeah.
could comprehend information and I could retain information, especially if it's something that I genuinely am
You
interested
like.
in learning. Right,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't bad. But and then growing up in at UTech, you're around. I was around engineers, people who
Mm-hmm.
actually have. So I used to be up at night studying, even though
Yeah.
I'm doing sports medicine. It's not the same thing as somebody who's studying,
Yeah.
engineering. It's not the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but see them to see their level of commitment to what they're doing.
Yes.
I just carried that into to Lincoln and Senag, and it was easy.
It
In
was
my
easy.
opinion, Lincoln was a little bit harder than Senag because Lincoln was a bigger school. Teachers don't know your name. You just get a number. You're assigned to a number on your desk,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a classroom with 200 people, right? So nobody knows. But when I went to Senag, it's a private school, right? So 50 people, if that, 25, 10 maybe.
So your professor would know who you are.
Yes, Mr. Jackson. I can't forget that man either. He's the one that guided me. His name was Michael Jackson.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, awesome, awesome.
Oh
But it
man.
sounds to me like you had a very good support system, and that is
Yes.
what it is about. But before you go any further, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome, welcome wherever in the world you are. Welcome, welcome. I am here tonight
Mm,
with, we're learning about Roxroy Cato, a Jamaican Olympian, two-time Olympian, 2012 and 2016 Olympian. 400-meter hurdles. I call them the quarter hurdler. He is here with me tonight. And remember, guys, please to subscribe and to share the content. And just to say a quick welcome to other people who I see joining in. Marlene Green, welcome, welcome. Regina Montague, Coach Regina Montague, welcome to each and everyone. Tony Phillips, welcome. He is saying upper levels. Back
mm,
to the man of the hour. Now, Roxroy, let us talk about competing
mhm,
for country, the
mm,
part that I like. You made your first Olympic team, as you said earlier,
mhm.
2012. What was it like for you? Was it a dream you had from you were younger?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely was a dream. The first time I ran the four hurdles, my high school coach said, "If you continue like this, you're gonna be one of Jamaica's top hurdlers." So when he said that to me, I took it very,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. So
Mm-hmm.
I actually I never made a junior team for Jamaica. Never. I tried one time. Like my one of my teammates made it at a time, but I didn't make it. I never made a junior team. My first time representing Jamaica was at the under 23 games down there in Miramar, Florida. That was my first time, and that was the year before the Olympics, right?
2011.
Yes, that was the year before the Olympics. It was a good year too because I ran. I got a medal on the 4x4. I fell in the four hurdles that year. I went from first to last. I was actually in the lead off the last hurdle, fell, and I didn't hit the hurdle.
Oh wow.
I didn't hit. I landed.
Man,
I
I don't even
landed
know.
bad.
I don't even know why you people do the hurdles. I've seen so many hurdlers fall, especially
Yes.
in the sprint hurdles. I mean, hats off to you, but you made your first Olympic team
Yeah.
2012 when
Yes.
Jamaica was celebrating
Woo.
Jamaica
Oh
50.
man.
The Jamaican team went to London
Oh
and
man.
we just
That
we
was.
tore the place apart, creating history.
That was.
Our three men, one,
Yes.
two, three in the 200 meters, world record in the 4x1 for
And I,
men.
I watched that live too.
Shellyan,
Hmm.
repeating, defended a lot happened in
Yeah.
London
Yeah.
for Jamaica. Just tell me a little bit about you being there and
Yeah.
how you felt knowing that you're a part of this team
Yeah.
called Jamaica.
It was, it was really a very memorable, you know, moment. in my life as a track and field athlete. It's something that I dreamt of, seeing being there and seeing the athletes leave who make the national team and not being able to make it, and then finally being a part of it, and then rubbing elbows with the fastest man of all time, uh rubbing elbows with the best of the best in the world. It The experience was something else, man. So it all started where, fun fact, the first track and field athlete to bless the track at the London 2012 Olympic Games was myself. The 400-meter hurdle was the first event. So it was 9 a.m. It was a Sunday morning. It was a Sunday morning. I can't forget it. Because the night before we had a team meeting. And we stayed in Birmingham for the
The
village,
camp, the
for the
village.
camp, and we were there for
Mhm.
a little bit, and for like 3 weeks it was fun, everything was good. But once you got to the village, team meeting. Okay, now we have to put our hats on. Now it's time to go to work. When after team meeting is done, they're like, okay, Roxroy, the four hurdles is the first event in the morning. You're gonna have to bless the track for the Jamaica team.
Wow,
Whew.
what a job!
No pressure, right? No pressure at all for my first Olympics at 24 years old. No pressure. Just go out there and just do it. Oh my God. It was I was the first question I asked was, all right, is the stadium gonna be full at 9 in the morning? I can't forget it. It was Mr. Watts. He was like, "No, don't worry about that, man. Nobody now wake up out of them bed, come watch the four hurdles."
Eh?
That's what he said to me. When I walked out into the stadium, I'm talking about at 9 in the morning, I couldn't see no seats. It was like crowded with people. Piece of nervousness hit me, see, man. I was shaking when I got in the blocks. I was shaking like this.
Oh my word.
My tights ripped. I ran the backstretch hard and then died coming home. I cried for 2 days.
Oh my word. What an experience. But when you look back at it now though,
Oh.
it was worth it. It was
All
worth it.
worth it. It was all worth it. I was sad I didn't show my face for like 2 days for real. And then everybody's like, "Where is Kato? Where is Kato?" And Blake, who's also a good friend of mine, was somebody who back then I remember him saying, just brush it off and just keep going
That's
because
Johan Blake.
yes, we were roommates in the village, and he was like, brush it off. And I remember because I watched him win medals, like three. He came away with three medals: the
Yes.
100, 200, and the four by
And the
one.
relay and the world record.
Yeah, I watched that
Yes.
live. I watched that live. I watched that
Yeah.
fully. I know what they did. So for at the 2012 Olympics, so in the village, we were in the same building as America, and America and Jamaica are the biggest rivals at the Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were in the same building. So America has a huge team. So they had so it was like 10 floors. Jamaica only had the top floor. So Jamaica team was small enough to where we were on the top floor, and the rest of the floors were America. So imagine every time you're going to the cafeteria, every time you're going, every time you step on the elevator, you see an American.
But you know what is so funny? You know what is so funny with that? It is amazing that we were the smallest team
Hmm.
of the two. We were the smaller team of the two. We were on the top floor.
Yeah,
They were the bigger team.
yeah,
But yet
yeah,
on the track, we were able to dominate
yeah.
them because we won the 100
Hmm.
for women. We
And
won the
man,
100 for men. We
hmm
won the 200 for men. We
hmm
won the relay, and we kept, we kept going,
yeah, Jamaica, man, I'm telling
and just it was all to me. It was all about Jamaica in London.
you.
Even
Yeah.
other countries were rooting for Jamaica
Yeah.
in at the London Olympic
Yeah.
Games.
I have a jersey that's signed by the whole, like, that whole team. I still have it. It's my dream is to open up my own performance center one day,
You
and
should.
anytime that opens up, that jersey is gonna be in frame because I still have it. I roll it out
Awesome.
sometimes and I look at it.
Mhm.
Everybody signed it.
You
Eh,
should
I'm,
frame it. You should
I have
frame
it.
it.
I
Oh,
have
you
it.
have it. Okay,
Yeah, I have
cool.
it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. These are
Yeah.
the stories, that I like to hear. And 2016, 4 years later, you
Mm-hmm.
repeated. You went back
Yeah.
to the Olympic Games, this
Yeah.
time the Rio Olympic Games in
Yeah.
Brazil. Was it
Yeah.
easier this time
Yeah,
around?
it was definitely easy. After 2012, we was just everybody who didn't make a final, or everybody who, made the team but didn't perform how they wanted to. it was like people looked at each other and they're like, "Yo, next one, I'm like, I have to make it out the first round." So that was like motivation for me. So right after the Olympics, back to work again. But change up the environment. That's when I moved down there to down there in North Carolina. Change up the
Mhm.
environment, and it was a better environment. I ran way faster, faster than I've ever ran. So it worked out well. It was definitely easier the second time around because I knew what I had to do. I knew exactly, how to position myself, even going to
Yeah.
trials and preparing for trials and going through the rounds at trials. Even this year, I went down there and went through the rounds. I'm like, these young boys, I'm
Listen,
like,
we're going to talk about trials in a little bit because my
yeah,
heart was broken for you,
I
me
know,
not lie. But we're going to
I
talk
know.
about that afterwards. But just let us look at your legacy, some of your achievements, just a few
Hmm.
of them. Where two-time Olympian. First of all, you're a graduate,
Hmm.
of St. Augustine University, of course.
Hmm.
You have your UTech is your alumni, and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Lincoln University. 2012 Olympic Games in London, 2016 Olympic Games in Rio,
Hmm.
Brazil, World Championship 2015.
Oh
That
yeah,
too was another
yeah.
big championship for Jamaica, where we just
I
walk
know.
back into the bird's nest and
Yeah,
take the thing home.
yeah.
2015, you also went to the Pan Am Games, where you won bronze in the
Hmm.
400-meter hurdles. Um, the CAC Games in 2013, 2011, the
Hmm.
CAC Games again, 2010, CAC Games bronze and gold.
Yeah.
As you said earlier, the NACAC under 23 for
Hmm.
Jamaica. You have a personal best of 48.42
Hmm.
in the four hurdles. That's correct, right?
Yes, I
That's
achieved
your
that this
PB,
year.
right? Yes. And
Mhm.
the 400 meters, which you ran, I think you ran this while you were in college, your PB.
No, I ran it this year too. I ran 46.4 this year too.
46.4. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have to update that. But I love to share athletes' legacy because a lot of times you guys might not pay attention and some fans might not pay attention. But to even make the team to go to the Olympic Games in itself
Hmm.
is a big achievement because it's not easy,
Yeah.
especially if you're a Jamaican. It
Yeah.
is not easy.
Yes.
Did you imagine? Did you imagine this when you started doing track?
Yeah. At first, I like I said, I always saw people around me competing and making the teams, so I knew it was possible because I could point at somebody who I know who, competed for Jamaica. But what lit the fire was me, like just convincing myself that okay, if this person that I know could do it, I know I could do it. I know all I have to do is just apply myself the right way and stay disciplined and be coachable and willing to learn. And it's just I would say I wasn't surprised because I knew I had it in me. I knew I had it in me. It was only a matter of being around the right people and
Mm-hmm.
doing the right type of training.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
The trials. Let me ask
Hmm.
you this question. I hear a lot of people. I'm going to tell you what a lot of athletes tell me after you answer.
Hmm.
Competition, global competition, or the Jamaican trials? Which one is
Hmm.
tougher for you?
Definitely trials is the hardest thing. Like
You guys are you guys are something else.
definitely tougher,
I
definitely
am
way harder
yet
because
I am yet to meet a Jamaican athlete who is not saying that the trials is easier. You all say the trial.
it
What
is
make the
harder though.
trials
It
so
is harder.
tough?
Like in terms of trying to make a team, right? And represent a country. If you're trying to make one, two, or 400 for a country, the hardest countries to make it for is number one is gonna be Jamaica, and the second is gonna be America. America is coming up now. America is right up there with Jamaica, but Jamaica is still a little bit harder because we run fast at times. So making the team, just think about it. You have to be top three in the country, and to be top three in the country, that's gonna put you in top 10 in the world. If you're in
Hmm.
top three in Jamaica, more than likely you're gonna be.
You're
So
in
it's like
top
you're
10.
literally trying to vie for one of the medals each time you step out on the track in Jamaica to make any one of the teams. Anyone.
Listen now. You were going into the Paris Olympic Games.
Yeah.
You were among the top three
Yeah.
for Jamaica.
Hmm.
You came into the Jamaican trials as you were on the plane
Yep.
before you came to our trials. You were one of three Jamaicans with the
Hmm.
qualifying
Yeah.
mark
I know.
coming into the trials. Let me tell you, I was in the stadium and
Mm.
may I tell you, it broke my heart when I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, damn,
I know.
four
It's
men. Jamaica was able to produce four men with the qualifying mark,
yeah.
and you were knocked out at the
Yeah.
trials.
Yeah.
Share with me, honestly, the
Mhm.
emotions, what you felt when you realized that you were knocked off the plane to Paris.
So it didn't hurt as much as people thought think it hurts, right? It
Why
didn't
not?
because okay, look at it from my perspective. I've made two Olympics already, right? And I know who my competition is, and I know how fast they're running. So even me coming into trials, I was just stirring up the pot when I run certain times to make everybody, like okay, Roxroy is back, and if Roxroy is in shape, you're
But
gonna have
that's what
to
people, that's what were, that was the argument. People were
exactly.
like, damn, Roxroy is back and he's
Exactly.
ready.
Exactly. But this is the thing. When you line up on the line, this is what you need to understand. When you line up on the line against the fastest 400-meter hurdlers in Jamaica, and they're just as hungry as you are, one
Yeah.
mistake, one,
Yeah.
and the four hurdles
Mhm.
is, so that race, the reason why I walk off the track with my head high is because it was just one mistake. It was just don't run my own race, get out too hard, and run somebody else's race. And by the time I get back into my running, the race is done. Right?
Oh,
I
so that
already
was what you did. You changed your race pattern.
Exactly, right? I got hyped up, which is, you know, even the night before me and my wife was talking and she was like, just relax and this and I was just like, ah. She was like, yo, relax and just go run your own race. But you go out there on the day and then, you know, I'm happy, but it's good too, because in order for if they let me come out there and run a bad race and still beat them, they don't deserve to be on the team. So in order to make the team, the reason why you have guys who run those times at the trials is because you have people who come into the trials running fast times, so you
Yes.
have to produce fast times. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
what the reason why I don't feel no way is because I'm literally pushing the sport, pushing the boundaries, let people get out of them comfort zone, knowing that you could run certain times, instead of like, okay, all I need to do is just run 49 to win and then go chase the standard. No, you have to come to the trials and you have to
Yes.
produce fast times. And then look at it. You could produce fast times and then still go to the games and you don't do nothing, right?
Listen, the 400-meter hurdles for men and women at the Jamaican trials was
Hmm.
two of the hottest races.
Yeah, because we had a
At
full field. We had people. This I think
oh
this Olympic trials. This
yes.
is the fastest four hurdle race I've ever ran in Jamaica.
Mhm.
Every year before that, nobody's running. It's only one or two guys. This time around, the top six guys were running 48 seconds. So
Mhm.
somebody had to run super fast in order
Super
to,
fast, and
right?
we
So
and we know
that's
who
how
did
we
that.
exactly, and that's how you bring the sport along, right? That's how you push it
Yes.
along. Because
Yeah.
if everybody's running 50 point, you run 48, then okay, you don't really get any push. But if you have a couple guys who are running super fast, actually the next day I went to the gym and lift some weights and then went back home, ran like three more races after that. And then I'm like, okay, am I trying to chase another year or am I going to like take on some athletes and start coaching some
And
athletes?
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about if you're going forward to Japan next year. But before we get to that, I hear that this fourth place is the
Hmm.
toughest spot to
It's tough.
finish. But that race
Hmm.
was one of the highlights for me
Yeah,
and a lot of people. The women's 400 hurdles and the men. I mean, even the same thing happened in the women's race.
yeah,
The same thing happened.
hmm,
Somebody got a spot that did
hmm,
not come in with a
yeah,
qualifying mark.
yeah. I've
And
done
this
that
is,
before.
yes, and this is what I realize. Our athletes,
Hmm.
when you come to trials
Yeah,
during a world championship or Olympic year, you better turn up
yep. You
properly.
better be
And
ready.
if you can come in with the fastest time and
Hmm.
don't make the team.
Yeah, all the time. I've seen that a million times. That happens so many times. I've seen it.
Man,
Cause even after we finish running and Hyde in the first round, because I know how Hyde runs. he's a very smart runner. I've been running with that boy
Yes,
from
Jail Hyde
2016.
is.
He's
Yes,
very
he is.
smart. So I knew,
Yes.
and then I saw him afterwards and I'm like, my youth, I play possum. He's like, go on, man, go on. He ran smart, right? You ran a
Yes.
certain way to get a certain lane to push the race. Because if Hyde wasn't in that lane, Malik wouldn't have ran the race he ran, right? If
But
Malik was
Malik was actually at the back. Malik came from
No, no,
behind.
no. But Malik was in lane 7, right? It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter where he's coming from. He's in lane 7. Hyde, that's the prime lane. Lane 7 is the prime lane.
Lane 7, yeah.
Hyde is in the next prime lane, which is lane 8. That's the lane I wanted. Lane 8.
When
Hyde
did
is
lane 8 become prime
for
lane?
the 400-meter hurdles. You don't want to be in the back. You don't want to run no turns. You just want to run straightaways.
Okay,
Exact. I'll
interesting.
just give away some of the secrets.
I
That's
love it.
why
I love
that's
it.
that's why you see look at even what's his name right now, who's like he has the world record, Warham. Look, just pay attention to what lane he runs out of. Pay attention to who wins the 400 races. It's always 6 to 8. It's rarely you get somebody that comes from 3 or like 2 to win unless he's extremely strong, right? So Malik, smart man, I'm telling you, and he
Yeah,
has a good coach
Malik
doing it.
finished like I
His
mean,
coach,
he
I'm
was
telling you,
like
his
a
coach.
train coming.
You see his coach? When I went to UTech, Gregor Little was a 400-meter hurdler at
Yes.
UTech who ran, at the time, he was running 48.2. So when I see Malik training with Gregor Little, I'm just like, okay, this boy is a real competition. And then
Mm-hmm.
this is how crazy UTech is, right? So, what Gregor Little, UTech origins, that's where he came from. And then the other guy now, Clark,
Rashawn
O'Keel,
Clark.
his
O'Keefe
coach,
Stewart, yeah.
he was my massage therapist at UTech. He was a massage therapist at UTech, and now he's a full blown coach with some of the
Yep.
fastest athletes. You see how it
Swept.
is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you
It
imagine?
it
Can you
is,
imagine?
let me tell you, it is a big industry in
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, and I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. And we're just getting stronger and stronger. I mean, this
Yeah.
year we did not show the way that we
I
should
think we
in
did. I
in
think we did.
in areas that we would normally, but we did put on a good show
Yeah.
nonetheless in the field. And of course, we made the 100 for men
Yeah.
very, very excited. But
Yeah.
it is. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And let me tell you, I was at the trials, and
Mhm.
that 400, those two 400-meter hurdles, man. I mean, they lit up the
Yeah.
stadium, literally
We knew that was
lit
gonna
up the
happen. I
stadium.
was ready. I was in the state when you're at the back and you're warming up and you see people striding out, you're like, okay, it's go time. You could tell when somebody ready for run. It's just like, okay,
Hmm.
let's go
Yeah,
run. Yeah,
it's
man.
now or never, do or die.
Yeah, good times, good times. We'll see. I know I'm trying to get some younger athletes to get some of that
Yes,
good
man.
times.
We need to. We need to.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
2014 was
yeah,
kind of a little heartbreak for you at the
yeah,
Commonwealth Games.
yeah,
You line
yeah,
up in the 400-meter hurdles, but you were
yeah.
disqualified. What
Yeah,
happened?
it was lane infringement. So when you clear the hurdle, your knee could cross the hurdle, but if your ankle or your foot is outside of the hurdle, they mark it as disqualification.
Meaning,
So
if you go around instead of over.
yeah, no, you could go across it, right? So this is how it works. So you're crossing the hurdle and you clear it with your left leg. If you
Hmm.
clear it with the left leg, you're on the inside of the lane. If you clear it with your right leg, you're on the outside of the lane, right? So for
Okay.
example, you clear with your right leg, so now you're gonna get a left trail leg. So if your knee crosses the hurdle and your foot doesn't cross the hurdle, that makes sense? So my whole knee crosses it, but then your foot don't cross it.
So where your foot go?
So this is the hurdle, right? And then
Yeah.
my whole knee, and then just like your foot goes out, but your knees across it, but your foot just go
Oh.
across.
Oh.
They will mark it as the rule is no longer there now, but it used to be there, and it's tough. It's tough, but
Okay.
I get
Wow.
it. It set me up though
Wow.
because it set me up for a better year, 2015.
Yes.
And then
The
I
world
was
at the
coming
World
off.
Championship.
I was already coming off winning NCAA, winning the national championship in Jamaica. It was like so many wins in one year. It was like only a matter of time before something good. But then again, you see, it's little things like those, no, because in that moment when that happened to me, everybody who saw it happen was very devastated. That I signed my contract that night, so it was like that happened to me. I'm like, okay, now let's go back to training and just go train and get ready,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Move
So
on.
it's all about how you look at it. I find that if you put a lot of pressure on yourself, then you don't get the results you want. The more you could just enjoy your process and just taking the wins with the losses and then learning from other athletes. That's when you get the best outcomes.
Indeed, indeed. How were you able to bounce back from disappointment? You seem to bounce back very easy, but tell me a little bit about, some of the challenges and how you were able to
Yes.
bounce back.
Right. So for me, again, it's I, when you hold you know what you want for yourself. So, and then I learn from other people's mistakes. So, for example, one of my biggest setback was uh, I tore my hamstring after NCAA. First time making NCAA down there in Lincoln, and that was one of the reasons why I ended up leaving too. Right, so I had to take like almost like 6 months, and in that 6 months, you watching the competition run, and you're like, oh my god, am I ever gonna be able to sprint again? But then each day when you train, you find yourself getting a little bit better and better. So for what I'm getting around to saying is the reason why I'm able to overcome things is because I don't put a lot of pressure on myself. I focus on the day to day, just a small, what steps do I need to take today to help me? Instead of, okay, big picture, how am I gonna make the team if my hamstring is hurt? I'm like, okay, tomorrow is another day. Wake up, make sure I'm staying on top of my physical therapies, make sure I'm doing all the things I need to do, stretch, hydrate, keep training, keep showing up, strength training, the little things. So I try to focus on the small stuff and don't get too overwhelmed with the big picture.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
You're still in the game. You're active. You're current. You're still. I'm going to say you're still in the
uh,
game because listen, you were one of the
man.
Jamaicans that had the qualifying mark. If we could send four, you would have been on that plane.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
know.
current.
If I got fourth
You're
place, I would have made the team. Because fourth
there.
place
You
went.
go. Yeah, you would have made
It's
the
good.
team.
Yeah.
You're not retired. How is I'm sure you guys are on vacation now, off season. It's almost time to get back into training. Are you looking forward to start training again?
Actually, so I shut it down after my last meet, which was first week of August. So and normally when I shut it down for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I already picked back up. You know, I
Okay.
already picked back up with training. I'm in talks with my high school coach because he's kind of like my counselor right now. I'm in talks with
Okay.
him. So we don't
Hmm.
know if we're gonna pursue. He's saying pursue a 2025 season. He's like go for the world championship. He's
Yes.
saying it. He say there's a lot of potential because when I went, because I watch back all my races, I record everything so I could watch it back. I'm
Hmm.
still the first part. I ran a personal best this year, and I still haven't put the 4 hurdle race together how I want to, because I put it together in training, but then when I
Hmm.
go to the track meet, the environment changed, so I'm not able to put it together correctly.
What
So
changes when you go to a track meet? Nerves?
nerves, more like it's a mixture of excitement. It's a mixture of things because you could warm up properly and then the meat is delayed,
Okay.
or the temperature, or it's just no, things are not organized. Little things like those will kind of throw you off. So it's little things. And then for me, I would say the biggest thing for me is finding races with good competition. Whenever I get races with good competition, I run super fast, right? So that's the main thing. But 2025 season, we'll see.
We should go for it. It's just around the corner. I mean,
That's
I know that the pandemic has changed a lot of things. The pandemic caused us to be going into five straight seasons from
yeah,
2021
yeah,
to this year, and of course, next year will be season five
yeah.
consecutive seasons. But do you think it's tiring? I mean, the fact that no break, we've had what, three world championships, two world championships, two Olympic games so far. We have
Mhm.
another world championship coming up
Yeah.
next year. Your thoughts on how it has impacted you?
I don't think, I think being a professional athlete, it comes with that, right? It's just like any other sport. Like you can't say every year there's a NFL championship. They don't take a year off, right? So
True, true.
real, like it's all about having that level of guidance around you and coaches who know how to structure your training to where you're performing at the right time or you're peaking at the
Mm-hmm.
right time. And sometimes you can make sacrifices too, because I've done that before where I sacrifice a track meet to prepare for the bigger picture, right? So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I think it's good. We need more. I think there needs to be, the Olympic is sacred. Leave that for every 4 years. But we
Mm-hmm.
need that worlds every year. We need that worlds every year. We need the Commonwealth. We need all of those. It's like, even though with the what Michael Johnson is doing with the track
Mm-hmm.
league, we need
Mm-hmm.
more of those. We need because they have a league over here in Canada too. It's called the Canadian Track and Field League, which it started during the pandemic. Because after the pandemic, track and field was slowing down. So this guy, they come
Mm-hmm.
up together and they form the league, and they pay people. They give, it's an incentive for people to run, but it's track meets all year round, and it's track, you get meets for like months at a time. Once the outdoor season start, you get a track meet up until the end of the season, and then it repeats again. That's what we
Okay.
need. That's what
Yes,
we need.
yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. As a track fan, I
Hmm.
love the idea that every year there is a
Yeah,
championship. And
needs to
as
be.
you said earlier, it's a professional thing. It's a
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
So maybe the athletes are saying, "No, we need a break," but I don't know. As a track fan, I love it. I can tell you that I have enjoyed the last 4 years back to back to back,
yeah,
with great competitions and stuff. So
mm,
let's see. I don't know what 2026 will bring, if
yeah,
we will go back to normal.
yeah,
But I don't know. I started enjoying the every year there is a global championship, but
yeah.
the world championship next year is going to be late. It's going to be down in
I know.
September.
It's just like the
You
last
know,
one there in 2015. That's how it was too. It was
yes,
far
yeah,
down. It's good. You
far
get time, you
down.
get more time to prepare.
And just like the one in Doha,
Yeah,
I think was what, November,
yeah,
October,
yeah.
November. But does it really matter though the time of year people
Um,
compete?
it doesn't matter. It's all about the structure of the training. I think
Preparation.
yeah, it's all about the structure of the training. And right now, the training in terms of how people are doing training, it's changing. Because I was around when, you know, like the thing was, okay, be as muscular as you can and be as big as you. Now I see where it's cutting down to where coaches are finding ways where, they can make the athletes last longer throughout the year, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't have to get them, big and then try to get them back small.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
coaches are finding ways now how to structure training and pushing the limits of what an athlete can do at what time of the year. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited to see, what can happen. I'm trying to do some experiment myself too, so we'll see how next year goes. You may see me, you may not see me. We don't know.
You're going for another team? That's my next question. You're going for 2025. You should go for it,
we're
Roxroy.
gonna leave we're gonna leave a question mark right here, like question.
You're still in good shape. I mean,
I know. I feel.
you made the qualifying standard for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I feel really good too. I'm not. I feel really good. I'm learning how to train properly, and I'm actually, because I'm coaching athletes, so I'm learning a lot, right? And I'm applying most of this stuff to myself and
Mhm.
experimenting. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how the body
You should
holds up.
use, if you're thinking about walking away now, you should use 2020, season 2025
Mm-hmm.
as your going out year.
Yeah.
So, you
Well,
do,
I see a lot of athletes do that, and it doesn't work out too good. And they're like, "Oh, I'm quitting."
um,
Like they say, once you put that on yourself, like, "Oh, I'm done." Look what happened to Bolt. Bolt was like, "Oh, 2017, I'm done," and then he come out last
yeah,
meet, hamstring pull, all types of mad, because
yeah.
he wasn't taking it serious, right?
Yeah,
So
he wasn't, Bolt was done after
yeah,
Rio.
yep.
After Rio,
Oh,
he
oh,
was
trust me, I
done.
know. You know what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do? You might just see me one day, and you're like, "Ploop," and you're like, what happened?"
I like to see when athletes move out of the sport a certain way, just like
Yeah,
how with Alicia Felix did a nice little transition out of the
yeah,
sport where
mm,
she went to her last Olympic Games, and
mm-hmm,
they made her run, and she
yeah,
ran on the team, and
yeah,
she was able to medal, and she
yeah,
did. I kind of like to see that. So at
yeah,
least we know that we
yeah,
don't have to ask about her again, because
yeah. She did
she
it.
is
Yeah.
out. She said this is
So,
her going out.
so,
Both
so
did
that.
something similar to that, where he did special invites at certain meet, and he was
Yeah,
treated royally. So
yeah. Yeah, it was good.
But it would be nice to see you next season again, because I think based on ranking,
Hmm.
you would maybe still have.
I'm pretty sure I'm like top five in Jamaica. Still, that's
Yes,
I could
you
definitely
would
go
be.
there.
I think you would be in the top four. I think you would be top, yeah, top four or something like that. As
I,
it is right now,
yeah, I could still
you
go there
would.
and make the finals, but it comes with a lot of preparation, a lot of sacrifices.
Yes.
That's the side that nobody really talks about, the sacrifices that you have to make to get to that point. So I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about it. I'm thinking about, okay, another year of sacrifice. What do I really want to make the sacrifice? Or it would be good because I know I still have more in the tank. But for now we'll leave a question mark over
So,
sac-
what can we expect from Roxroy Cato this season? Because I was in the stadium cheering for you. Never
Yeah.
know you yet or anything, but
Yeah.
and
No.
as I said before, it broke my heart a little bit because we
Yeah.
had done a show the
Yeah.
night before the trial started, and your name came up
Mm-hmm.
as the top three, and I
Mm-hmm.
was saying, well, already our three men going to the Olympic Games
Mm-hmm.
was you, Malik James King,
Mm-hmm.
and Rashawn Clark.
Yeah.
But then Mr.
Hide come
Jail
out.
had to turn
Yep,
up.
and respect. I love respect.
Yes,
Yo,
I
listen,
respect that young man. Yes.
that little
You
man, there, no
cannot
man.
count out Jail Hyde. You
2016,
know.
he did the same thing to me. 2016, 2016, we in the final. I mean, answer look on each other like, yo, answer first and second. Which one do you want? We come on
Ja-
straight away. Yo, and he was fresh out of high school. Them that cross that
yes.
line 48 seconds. I'm like, bro, you got it, bro. Like no questions
Yes.
asked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are it.
Yeah. You
So
cannot I have learned that
mhm,
you don't rule out athletes
yeah,
during competition,
yeah,
because everybody coming with a mindset
yeah,
to win.
yeah.
Nobody's
Especially.
coming to make up numbers
Yeah.
anymore.
Especially when he's been on that level before. If he
Yes.
makes a team, it's not
I mean,
coincidence. It's
he's a
like
world junior champion.
exactly, and he's a two-time Olympian. This is his third one, so
Hmm.
there you go.
Yep.
He's not no slouch.
No, no, he definitely, definitely not.
Yeah,
Everybody was like, "Damn, man, you can't rule out Hyde."
you
But it
can't.
was, you guys really did put on a show at the
Yeah,
trials, and this is what I like about the trials. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get, but for sure, we are
mhm,
going to get some excitement, and that
yeah.
we did get some fireworks from you guys.
I
You live
know.
in Canada, you train in Canada. How
Mm-hmm.
aggressive is Canada's weather is aggressive, especially during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
How do you maneuver the weather in order to train and not being set behind because of the weather?
So it's coming from. So I was Canada has. I must say they have where I am in Toronto. The weather is bad, but it's not as crazy as certain places. Like once you go further north, then it's more
Hmm.
crazy. But
Okay.
there's good facilities set up here for people who are pursuing athletics. So
Nice.
that makes it easy because that's why I'm still going because I'm coming from Senog and Lincoln, they didn't have an indoor facility. We train on basketball floors and still run fast in the winter, right? So to be in Canada and there is like great facilities. I have a whole indoor track. I have 120 meters of straightaway. I could do whatever I want to do. So
Nice.
it's not it's actually a blessing.
Yes,
And then when
indeed.
we stay outside, and every time, only time we go inside is when the snow drop. Once it's even when it's cold, we're still out there doing the work. So
Wow. Talk about dedication.
yeah.
Training as a high school athlete and a collegiate athlete, it's a little easier because resources are provided.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you find it being a professional athlete in terms of resources and stuff? Do you struggle?
So that's the next thing, right? If you're being realistic with yourself, then you won't see it as a struggle. Unless you're a signed athlete, which I was, right? Then if you're somebody who is just pursuing track and field and you're trying to be as fast as you can, you know you have to have some type of other way of making money. You cannot depend on just unless you're ranked top three in the world, unless you get a medal, that's the only way you're gonna really make serious money, right? So for me, it's finding balance. That's why I coach people. That's why I have a whole online business. I coach athletes all over the world. You know, I have athletes in Russia. I have
Nice.
athletes in. I
So
have
what you
athletes
do,
in.
tell me a little bit about that. What do? You write the program and send to
Yes.
them?
So I have like an online system. I have an app where we you connect with me through my social media, just like with me connect here. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
put information out to get people to see that I'm good at what I do. And then once you connect with me, consultation, and then I set up a program for you based on what you're trying to do. It's not blanket program. It's for you as an athlete what you're trying to achieve, and take it from there. So I have an app and I plug programs in there for athletes, people who are serious about training. I
Mm-hmm.
have like 25, 30 people
Nice.
serious
That's
about training.
awesome.
And
Any
that's
middle? Do you do middle and long distance programs
uh
or just hurdles?
we have at the most, the furthest I've gone is the 800. I haven't
Okay.
tackled anything outside of that yet. So I go from the 60 meter to the 800 and the long jump. I haven't
Okay.
and hurdles for sure, but I haven't tackled nothing outside of that. It's coming though. It's
Nice.
coming
Ah,
eventually. Yeah.
awesome. Awesome. We we
Yeah.
need to talk off year.
Mm.
We need to talk off year.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your physical and mental health with everything that is going on around, and
Okay.
and you are now saying that you might be leaving the sport, we will see, question mark. How are you able to stay focused mentally and make sure that you have a healthy mental health?
So for me, I I try to maintain a balance between, okay, me knowing what I have accomplished in track and field and what I know I can accomplish if I train or if I push myself to a certain limit. I have to balance that out with just having fun in life. So I'm somebody who, as hard as I train, then I have fun just as hard. Right? And fun for me doesn't mean partying and all of the madness.
Enjoy
It's more
what you
like,
do.
yeah, exactly. It's more like, okay, telling a story, or I'm heavy into YouTube now, so I'm just like going crazy with editing videos and trying to edit videos and try to see what works. So just branching out. I would say
Yeah.
if you're trying to last, you cannot just make it one thing. You have to learn to grow, right? So that's the thing for
Mhm.
me. That's what keeps me going and how I keep my headspace. And then the support system I have around me too. So I have good people around me who allow me to make mistakes. So it's just
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Before we go any further, the audience, they're loving the interview. They're all saying Reimar's Truck Club is saying very informative.
Yeah.
Vivian Morano, formerly Spence, still Spence,
Hmm.
she's saying, I enjoyed this interview. God bless in all your endeavors, Roxroy. That's what
Oh,
she's
God,
saying.
thank you.
Regina Montague is also saying, great interview indeed, everyone
Mm,
loving it. How important is nutrition and diet
mm, yeah,
for an athlete, especially track and field, because we're sticking with track and
yeah.
field? Does it matter what you really eat? I mean, all you
Yes,
want to do is
it's
run fast.
I mean, maybe before it didn't matter, but I think anybody who's trying to be a professional athlete now, they have to take those things into consideration. I
Mm-hmm.
did. That's what changed the game for me, right? I've always been somebody who's very particular about what I put into my body. And
Mm-hmm.
I think most athletes who compete at the level they are, there's a
Mm-hmm.
stigma out there that athletes eat McDonald's and all this. Nothing like that. The best of the best. They have nutritionists. They're
Yes.
very in tune with their diet. Everything is on point. So I would say even for a young athlete, it's easier as a young athlete because you could, if you're serious about running and you have good support system, you could be like, okay, I don't want McDonald's. I want just cook. I'll just eat the cooked food, right? Or make sure I'm hydrating. Little things like that. So back to your question, one of the most important thing that I recognize, and the reason why I'm still going right now is because the most important thing is gonna be what you do off the track.
Yeah.
That 5% is muscle memory, like training. Once you get fast, you're at a certain level, unless you get hurt, right? You are able to maintain that. But once you leave the track, it's 95. It's lifestyle, is what you eat, it's hydration, are you sleeping? That's what separates somebody who competes at the elite level from somebody who's just okay. They they run, but they won't make it to that level, right? Talent too, but you could
Mm-hmm.
find people with extreme. Because I've seen it before. I've known people who had extreme talent, but because of their lifestyle, they didn't reach their full potential.
Yes, yes, I've seen that. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, just tell me about one of your weakest moment in your career. Your
Um.
weakest or your lowest moment as an athlete.
No. Yeah. Oh man, there's a lot of those, but one of my lowest moments was Doha 2013. So I made that team outright, made that national team, finished second at the trials, had the standard, and at the time I went to Jamaica and I trained and I ran and then I went. I was training. So I have family in Connecticut, so I was back in Connecticut training up until the week before the because everything you know how Jamaica has a system where you make the team, you're a part of selection, so they
Mm-hmm.
send you tickets, they send you what airport you're leaving from, everything. I went to the airport only to find out that somebody else was gonna go in my place.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
As in you were not informed that you were
No.
replaced?
No, I wasn't informed. Actually, it was a coach that called me and told me. He was like, "Yo, you didn't hear what happened?" And I'm like, "What happened?" And I don't want to call no names. If you go do the research,
No,
you
that's
know he
fine.
made the
Yeah,
team.
you
But
don't have to.
it's it was a low moment for me that I'm even talking about it now. But it's not
Hold on
something
there,
that
man. No, man, we have to talk about this a little bit. So you're telling me that you put on your clothes, you
ready.
pack stuff and
Ready, train.
everything,
The what hurt. It's not even me putting on my clothes that hurt. It's the fact that I could have been, enjoying
and
my
turn up
summer.
at the airport
Yes, I could have been
only to
enjoying my
hear that
summer.
you are replaced on the team?
It was tough. It was tough, and the reason was, they said my lack of experience. That was the reason. And this was after. This was 2013. This was after 2012 Olympics.
No, but I am still at the place where you were selected, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were selected and
Yes,
you are heading to the airport,
I
backpack and
was
everything.
trained. They took my information. I got my ticket. Everything, everything. I was training the whole summer, and then it was the day. Actually, it was the day when me I get ready for go airport. But he called me and he was like, if I heard what happened, and then heart jump out of my chest, and I'm like, damn, I could have been enjoying my summer. Instead, I was training hard. But it's good. It set me up for 2014.
No,
So
man, it's not good, man. No, we need to get these things right. That is
is
downright amateur. That
I know
is
it's
downright unprofessional and amateur. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it because it's been going on too long and it is
yeah
still going on
yeah.
where they're
So
not the
there's a
powers that be, they're not communicating
there's
properly
a
with the
there's a
athletes.
there's a
There's a
disconnect.
breakdown in
Yeah,
communication.
there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between um the people who manage the teams and the athletes, right? Even with the coaches, there's not enough representative of the athletes in the managerial position, like the people who sign off on things and write tickets and reimburse and who do those things. There's a disconnect there, and that's why you have things like that. This has been happening. This ain't the first. I've had multiple friends, man. I could bring
I
people
know
on
this
here,
been
give you some
happening
story.
from.
I could bring people on to give you some stories. Make it. I've seen grown men cry over the system that is down there, and it hurts me because it's like that system that the sprint culture in Jamaica is one of the best in the world. But
Mhm.
we are one of the best in the world. But in terms of how we rank amongst them, we're not there at all, at all, at all, at all,
Yeah.
at
Our
all.
administration, it need, and we have to talk
Need a
about it
washout.
because,
Need a
yeah,
washout and start over.
yeah, we need to talk about it because I keep saying this is the athletes, it is their job, it is their
Mm-hmm,
legacy. You're messing with their thing.
mm-hmm,
And I'm saying if you selected 60 people for a team and
mm-hmm,
you're going to replace a few people,
mm-hmm,
it is not a hard job to call and said, okay, HP, you were selected, or send me a letter or email or something to say, HP, we initially selected you for this event, but after whatever your reason is, we decided to replace you. You don't even have to tell me who you replace, but communicate with me that I have been too many times.
Yeah,
I hear that.
it's a system. The system is weird in Jamaica. There's, as I said, there's no communication because I even look at, I even look at, take a for example, just as simple as sending an email to like the Jamaica Athletics Association. In my head, I'm like, they generate so much revenue and they cannot just pay somebody to actually check the emails and get back to people and be on top of things. To be one of like the top, you know, sprint countries in the world. This level of communication is like it don't make no sense to me. But then again, somebody like me, I could talk because they don't do nothing for me. Like
Yeah,
even
I
I
don't have a
could,
problem with you
right?
talking,
I
honey.
could
That's
say
what we're here
anything.
for.
But at the same time, you don't wanna go opening up your mouth and then people are like, oh, he sound better,
No, but we
right?
need to have the conversation because the
Yeah.
whole world know that it is happening. It is not a secret that we are
Yeah.
not.
The
Our
system.
administration is not doing. I mean, we had athletes at the Olympics
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, the system, it's so this is where the system is at, right? It's at a point where people have been in there so long that they think they're entitled to, because I've made teams and I'm at the table with the Jamaica team with people who I saw at the trials and competed with, and I'm sitting down and you're eating, you're at the athlete cafeteria, you're eating, and you see somebody walks in into the cafeteria in the full Jamaica gear, and you're like, oh, yo, which event does this person do? And somebody nudge you, and they're like, oh no, it's such and such son, and they have the thing that you blood, sweat, and tears and train 9, 12 months for, and just to wear that on your back and be like, okay, I earned my spot. You have people who come and they get the same privilege as you, and all they are is, my dad is the person who,
And I've
signs a
heard
piece
this
of
story
paper.
over and over. Even
It's
recently, I spoke to somebody 2 nights ago, and
mhm.
he told me that same
Yeah,
story.
it's there, and like I said, man, the system, they need for just get more coaches. I know coaches can tend to be favoritism. They do, like, they try to favor their athletes and push their athletes in, because we see that too. Because I see that too when you make the teams, and sometimes you see like the 4x4 not do good, and you're wondering what happened. Trust me, it's internal. It's one of the coaches wants one of their athlete to run who's hurt, and then somebody is like, no, I don't want, and then they're like, scratch the 4x4. It's little things like those. Because check this out, right? Jamaica is chasing the standard
For the
for the
four by
Olympic,
four for the
right? And
Olympic.
you have three guys who ran the night before, and they all ran 44 low times, right? And none of those guys were out there competing.
Man, I was there. I
If
was there
those
that Sunday
guys,
evening.
and for them, it's not like they can't recover. They could recover, right? They could recover.
But those guys ran early up in the trials because what
Hmm.
they did,
Hmm.
they only run 2 rounds of the
Hmm.
400
Hmm.
in order to rest them to come
Yeah,
back Sunday night
yeah.
to try and chase
Yeah,
two
but
minute
the main guys weren't
59.
out there. The top three guys weren't out there on none of the teams. I see if that was America, you'd have seen Ry Benjamin out there. You'd have seen all of them
Look here,
boys right out there.
America don't joke in
Yeah.
track and field when it comes on to country. They
Hmm.
are putting their best people. And you know what I like about America? Nobody spot on a
Hmm.
relay team is
It's secure.
guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen America run three hurdlers.
Hmm.
I think it was 2008 or 2012.
Hmm.
America ran three hurdlers on their
Hmm.
4x4 team with
Yeah,
LaShawn Merritt.
yeah. Why not?
Angelo Taylor,
Hmm.
Karen Clement,
Hmm.
and Batman.
Hmm. Batman was my
Three.
training partner down there in North Carolina
There you
too.
go. Three. So America, no, you don't have no spot here.
Yeah,
We are putting the best team out there because we
yeah.
want the gold medal.
Yeah, that's the thing with it. So, like I said, man, it needs to come a point where they need to wash out. They just need to what they're
Yeah,
not. So,
man. It's
somebody said, I'm reading the comments. Sorry for cut you off.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Somebody said they're all volunteers. Sure, the people who when trials time come around and they collect your ticket, they're volunteers. But the people who work, they have offices. They're in there all year round, signing off on things, money going. You know what? Let me
But even,
just.
but even if they're volunteers,
They're
sports
not
track and
volunteers.
field is no longer an amateur sport. It is now a professional thing.
They're
So if
they're
you're
not
saying that
volunteers.
these people are volunteers and they're doing mediocre work, what you need to do is hire people with the
Exactly.
credentials and pay them, because non-profit organization
Mhm.
do pay people to
Mhm.
do the work.
So
They
look,
do
if
pay
so,
people
we
for positions.
a couple years ago we tried to get an athlete in there on the board. You know him too, Michael Furta. We tried to get in there. It didn't last. We tried it. So you see, my era when Bolt and so Bolt was the big man, right? And then Blake was another man. But you see, everybody under him, those guys. If I call their names, you won't even know most of them, right? Like man, like Dane Hyatt. You won't
Yeah,
even
man,
know who
I
that.
know Dane Hyatt. Yeah.
Exactly. So that group, that era, we try to get somebody in there. We try to vote in somebody in there to be a part, an athlete, to look out for the athlete interest. It didn't work out. They don't wanna. It's another same set of people. Even though when we got trials, I'm go walking a J3. I just feel like I walk back in 2008. I'm like, yo, why am I even here? Why did I come here? Because it's like
2008, you mean 2000, you mean 90s?
I walk up in the office, I'm like, why am I even here? Because it just feel like the same old. I just feel, and then you know what makes me feel so good, because I could go to trials and I know it's funded by me, and I could go there, walk away with my heads up, and everybody will still be like, "Oh, you still I run?" That's all I heard at the back of the stadium. I'm like, yes, I'm still running. Am I not running times? You're acting
No,
like I'm
but
coming to try.
did they realize that you made the Olympic qualifying time,
Of course they knew
which
that.
is a big deal?
They knew that. Of course they knew that. Once that time hit, everybody knew who it was. But like I said, how Jamaica track and field set up is there's people at the top who are they're almost like they're safeguarding, or they're the people who they don't want to, just like in every other sport. After a while, they have younger people come in and then take over, and you just have to just step away and let them take over. Like, even though once I saw Rashawn last year, I was in that race, when he run 48, 47 in Jamaica, and I saw that, and I went to his coach, and I'm like, yo, you're doing amazing things. Keep going. This is what we want to see with the sport, And then, because I remember when I first came out, it was Danny McFarlane, and Danny McFarlane didn't come out and say, "Oh," he was like, "Yo, embrace the younger athletes. Tell them to come in." Right? All of that, the sport is changing in terms of you have younger athletes coming in who are running
Hmm.
faster and faster, which is gonna
Yes.
bring more exposure to the sport. But the people at the top is still the same, right? This man can be in Jamaica and run 47.3 seconds. You know how big that is?
Big deal. Big, big,
Big,
big, big.
huge, and it's like nobody. It's like no real effort is being made, to make him feel like. That's why it's enough for the athlete them leave. That's why it's enough for them leave and change them name. They go and run for other countries and they
I
run for
know.
longer.
I know,
So
I know. You have so many of our athletes are out there hurting. Let me tell you,
yeah.
when I talk to them off here, man, it
Mm-hmm.
it breaks my heart when I hear some of the stories.
Yeah. So it's,
It
it's tough.
really, it is heartbreaking when I hear
Mm.
some of the story. And this
Yeah.
favoritism and
Yeah.
nepotism and all of
Yeah.
that, it
Exact.
needs to stop.
Somebody said her name is. I can't pronounce her name. Her
Oh,
name is
Vonnie M. Oh yeah, she's the
Vani M.
1972
She
Olympian, yeah.
what she just said right here is exactly what I experienced. What year was she?
She competed for Jamaica at the 1972 Olympic Games, and she competed for Canada at the 1976 Olympic Games.
1972, right?
Yeah, yeah.
1972. And the
Hmm.
phrase she used was they classify her as firing athletes. Up to this year, them
Yes,
say they still call people who come from overseas
train
who are Jamaican.
overseas for.
Up until this year, it's still a firing
Yes,
athlete.
something. Taylor Lawrence made a reference to that same thing too. Our athletes who train abroad, they have this thing now where it's like there is a big segregation or split,
Mm-hmm.
local base and
Mm-hmm.
foreign.
Yep.
It's not Jamaican athletes anymore.
But that stems from the association, because they treat you differently. So, for example, I make the team with somebody like Ansert, right? He trains in Jamaica, but I train abroad. Every time there's any little perks or anything that's happening, he would reach out, because the athletes, they talk to each other, right? They're
Yes.
like, okay, they're like, yo, did you hear about such and such, and did you hear about this and this? Certain things, certain information. If you're not in Jamaica, you're not gonna. have access to that information,
True.
right? So it is what it is, and athletes are all over the
It
world.
need to stop though. It need to stop. Is
Yep.
one country. When you guys, let me tell you, this is something I'm very passionate about. Anybody will tell you. When you guys put on the country's color, it is about Jamaica. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about local base. It's not about foreign base. Because what they need to understand, and I realize a lot of people don't know the history before our athletes start training at home. Every one of our medalists trained abroad. Mr.
Mm,
Arthur Wynn trained abroad. Mr. Herb McKinley, Merlene Ottey, Juliet Cuthbert, Grace Jackson, Bert Cameron, Dorothy Scott, Vivian,
mm,
Ethelyn Tate. Every one of our athletes trained abroad
yeah,
before, and they are the ones who set the stage.
I
So
know.
to
It's
be
just.
to be doing this split now,
Mm-hmm.
even Taina Lawrence, when Taina Lawrence came back at the Sydney Olympic trials and defeated Merlene, it was a big uproar.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big
Yeah,
uproar because, of course, Marlene is our darling and favorite, even though she trades abroad. But because nobody knew about Tana Lawrence,
yeah,
and this girl just turned up at the trials and made the team
yeah,
and won silver at the Olympic Games,
yeah.
at the Sydney Games. We
I
need
know.
to understand that a Jamaican, whether your grandmother or your grandfather, the minute you decided that you're going to compete for the country, you are Jamaican. I am
I
tired
know.
of hearing,
It's it's
oh,
gonna be
American, Jamaican.
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to change the system because those guys in there, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. But it's gonna change, and the minute it change, you're gonna see
But
just
you
the
guys need
level
to vote. Why are you guys not voting? Isn't it
voting.
election time?
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. We try to get somebody in there before, it don't work. We try,
Before
even
we
though
go
they
any
tried
further,
with Bakers.
before we go
We
any further, let us just read some comment. Vonnie M, who is Yvonne Saunders, she's saying, I am so sorry you had to go through that. It hurts me to hear that. She also said, same mentally as when I competed for Jamaica, I was classified as a foreign athlete.
still happening until this day.
Um, uh, J Jar is saying, she's saying, and you have past athletes who represented the country several times begging for a piece of gear. I'm going to tell you a story. I mean, not what I call it athlete name. An athlete told me that she competed at the Olympic Games. A matter of fact, she's an Olympic champion.
Mm,
And she told me that when she went away to compete for the Olympic Games, the kit that she got wasn't adequate. You know what they had to do? When they run in the clothes today in the
mm,
heats, they had to go back to their dorm or wherever,
mm,
wash it
mm,
and air dry it to go run
mm,
in it tomorrow
mm.
again. So because of that, she said everybody know where the Jamaicans were staying, because when you look up here, Jamaican kits, wash and hang up a hair dry, and we fans sit down and judge them, not knowing what they are going through. I'm not going to call the athlete name, but
I
that
know.
was what she told me. They had to wash it overnight, wring it in a towel,
Mm-hmm.
and put it to air dry. And hopefully, if you have a morning race, you might have to run in it half dry. If you have
Mm,
an afternoon race, then you might get away. We have
yeah.
to stop that. We have to stop.
The system is still the same. And when I was there, when I was actually competing for Jamaica at like that highest level, and I went back there this year, it's like you just walk in like a time loop. It's like the same set of people, and you know exactly how it's gonna be. Because the person who's like one person is like in charge of like the clothes and stuff. I don't want to call no name, but this
No, you
person
don't
is
have to call any name, but
right.
we
This
all know.
person,
Yeah,
and you could just tell. It's just flashbacks of like somebody who's just like look upon you like you're less than,
yeah.
and it's
And
just
you are
like
going out there to compete the country.
right.
See, Tana Lawrence is here.
Yeah,
Welcome,
yeah,
Tana Lawrence. Welcome, Olympic champion Taylor Lawrence.
yeah,
She
it's
said
tough.
it's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not,
Yeah,
because I've heard it from so many athletes, foreign athletes.
yeah.
Oh, you
I,
mean foreign athletes, a
and
Jamaican athlete?
I strongly recommend that if you're an athlete in Jamaica and you're a young athlete and you get an opportunity to go represent a school and broaden your horizon, you should.
You should.
Don't stick around and be like, okay, I'm gonna just, you broaden your horizon. Jamaica is not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, you will be exposed to more resources when you leave and go
Of
somewhere
course.
and better
And the thing,
structure.
yes, and the thing
Hmm.
is that what I love about our athletes, it doesn't matter what they're going through, they all come back and
Hmm. Of
represent the
course, like I never
country,
wouldn't
even
want to
when
do
it's
nothing else.
tough. They don't want to run in nobody else's kit. They don't want to run
Exactly.
for no
Yo,
other
hold on, hold
country.
on, hold on. Let me give you one sweet one before we leave now. So we're there and this year too. So last year I run because I've been running in the Jamaica like a bodysuit, but it's like an old one from like 2015 I've been running in. So last year I run a trials in the bodysuit, you know, and everything is fine. This year I've been running it all year round. So my track athletes, so me have a little guzum. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the suit that make me run fast. So maybe stick to my suit.
Right.
Me go a trials now. This year, I'm gonna line up. I'm gonna put on my bodysuit. So they like put your number on. So I'm in the little warm up area, and then I call everybody to check their number. So I put the bodysuit on, and one of the people who was checking in the marshalling area was like, you can't run in Jamaica gear in the Jamaica National Stadium. All of the hurdlers, the guys who was going out with, they were like, wait, what? So you tell me say if me put on a Jamaica jersey, me can't run in a Jamaica in a
So hold
jersey.
on, you cannot run if you have your Jamaican kit from
You
when you
can't. No,
you compete.
I,
Like you
you
can't run in it at the
pay
trials.
attention. Pay attention to what I ran in. Go watch what there is. I ran in a regular black shirt. That's not. It wasn't even a running shirt. I just put a shirt. I had the bodysuit on, but I had to roll it up at the bottom. They say I can't go. And then the funny part is,
Why? Why? What is the
I
reason for that?
they couldn't give me a real reason. I was like, but I ran in this last year. They're like, well, you know. And then the other guys were like, wait, but no, man, you can't run in. And then they were like, no, 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 man, I don't want to ask me, but the rule is you can't run in it. And this is right finals. It's the finals. The race is, I'm about to walk out to go run the finals, and they told me, I was like, yo, I was like, this is my last time coming to Jamaica to run.
No, I can see why you say question mark beside you
I'm
coming
like, yo,
back.
why?
It's
It's like it's not even that serious. It didn't make no sense to me. Like you cannot give me a real reason why I cannot wear a bodysuit from 2015. You cannot give me a real reason.
woo, massive.
That's the island for you.
We
That's the
need to get it right though, and I hope that the athletes are working on it. Something needs to be done because, and my thing is, even if you're volunteering, if you decide, if you put up your hand that you're going to volunteer to do a job, do that job to the best of your ability, or move away and let somebody else volunteer and
yeah.
do it. Miss Vilma Charlton is on, she too is an Olympian,
Mm.
1972,
Oh,
1976,
wow.
and no, 1968, 1972, and 1976, if I get it right. But Miss Vilma Charlton, three-time Olympian,
Mm.
also a J3 official, she's saying, yes, Vonnie, you are right. That is true. We are mostly all volunteers.
Mm.
Now, my grandma, I grew up with my grandmother, and she always said, anything that you agree to do, do it to the best of your ability, whether you're being paid for it or not.
Yeah.
If you are not going to do that job to the best of your ability, leave it and let somebody else with a passion. Because
Mhm.
right now, I'm gonna volunteer my service to the J3 as a part of their management team
So
and
I
and
have a
and
question. I
whatever,
have a question.
because I have the credentials.
Is the president of the JHA, is he a volunteer as well?
I don't know.
The
I don't
vice
know who is
president?
being paid, and but they need to understand that if the J3A is a non-profit organization, non-profit organization do pay people to work. Granted, your board members are not supposed to be paid, but you can pay for your CEO, you can pay for your marketing person, you can pay for your certain positions. They can be paying jobs because track and field is not amateur anymore. It is a
Mm-hmm.
professional sport. Means say I get money to
Mm-hmm.
compete. There
Prime
is
time,
money
yeah.
coming into it. So what you can do, your important positions where you need people to, like your marketing. We should have a marketing department, events
Mm.
and marketing
We
department.
don't.
That if we
The
don't have that, we're not going to generate any revenue. And this
yeah.
is why so many times you go to a track meet at the stadium empty because there's no
Mm-hmm.
marketing. We're not
Yep.
marketing event. You cannot have a sport event without marketing it.
They market it. They market it 2 days before the event. That's how
Two
they do
days
it.
before. Listen, I read something online where America is already start selling, marketing their trials for
Hmm.
next year.
Oh, I know.
They
Jamaica,
already, the
and
United States
it's
track and
not
field
even
USA start marketing their trials for next year.
it's not even that serious to know because how it's set up right now. How it's set up right now is like everything is so in tune to where they have a Instagram page, they have all these things where they could use these as ways to market what they're doing. And if you go to the stuff, it's like you don't see it don't even up to date. It don't even make sense. And the
Listen,
trials just finish.
I don't even want to go there because I'm very big on research. I research our track and field legacy, and right now I am putting together a research. I have a list of all the Olympians from 1948 to 2021 and some of 2024, and I'm collecting data on them. And let me tell you, one place I cannot go is the J3A site.
Mm-mm.
Because the
Cannot nothing
data
to do
that
there.
is there, I already have it. The name and the date of birth.
Mm-hmm. Not another there.
So we have to get it right. And I know that. And the thing is, you see, the ego and inner
Hmm.
feelings, we need to get rid of that. And
You
it's
know.
a business that we're doing. Track and field Jamaica is a brand.
I know.
Track and field Jamaica is a brand. Jamaica is a brand by itself, and track and field Jamaica is another brand.
This is how you know it's a brand, right? So you go overseas, you go anywhere in the world, and so for example, you're somebody like me when I was like running and making teams and whatever. You will go to places and people will ask you for autographs, right? They will take pictures of you and then put it on the internet and sell it. Like you can't even access your own picture and stuff like that. That's how you know it's a brand. But Jamaica now market it. Jamaica, listen,
Listen,
this is what it is.
go ahead, go ahead.
This is exactly what this. The person's name is Dorothy Scott.
Genius.
Dorothy.
Olympian.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, 1980 Olympian.
She said the volunteers, they are all volunteers, but they compensate them with multiple free trips per year.
There you go. Now, if I am a volunteer in a sport organization and I can travel and I can go with the team and I can get tickets to whatever, why me not go do the job? Tell
Yeah.
me now why I wouldn't be doing the best job.
Yeah, because you
They
get comfortable after a while. The people
get
working there,
too
they know
comfort.
they're not going anywhere.
The leaders are not leading because anybody who knows me know that even if we're friends and we're working together, there is a certain you have to be doing the work for me. All if you're my friend, me I go tell you, say, look, it now work out, so I will deal with it
Yeah.
myself. You have to be doing the work, and as a leader, even and if your friend give you a job, why wouldn't you do that job to make your friend look good? If I give
Mm-hmm.
my friend a job and my friend is not doing that job for make me look good, them have to go.
Mm-hmm. I know
They
it's tough.
have to go.
Yeah. It's tough. The J3 system is
Too
terrible,
many of
and it
our
hasn't.
athletes are hurting. And
Yeah.
I know that we're going off track a little bit, and I'm glad that you brought it up. But I'm
Yeah.
a big advocate for the athletes because you know
Yeah.
something? Without you guys, we would not have the need for a federation.
I know.
Some
And everybody.
countries, some countries don't have a federation. Why? Because they don't have no athletes.
Yep.
A lot of the Caribbean athletes from certain Caribbean countries, they have to compete. They compete for Great Britain because their
Mm-hmm.
country don't have their country don't have a federation.
Yeah.
Once they're under the British umbrella, because that's
Yeah.
how we used to do it before
Yeah.
1948.
Yeah.
So we have a federation all because of you guys.
I
Take
know.
you guys out of the picture, all of them
Mm.
would not be important. So the
Mm.
athletes are the most important asset
I
of
know.
the federation. And as Dorothy Scott is saying, formerly a Veer and Olympian, of course, she's saying sometimes athletes are told they can't get a certain size because an official wears the same size
Of
that
course. This ain't new. This ain't nothing new over here. So all of this right now is just like It's like deja vu to me, or just bringing up stuff that's been talked about for so many years to the point where it's just like, okay, the conversation we done talking now. It's like, let's just, it's gonna change, it's gonna change. After a while, the people who are in there, they're gonna,
It
you know,
need
they,
to change.
and then you're gonna get some young, fresh blood up in there, and then, things are gonna be done how it's supposed to.
You know what we need? We need people with the credentials
Mm-hmm.
to do the job. Sports management, sports administration. We
Mm-hmm.
need people with passion.
Yep.
We need people with passion for the sport,
Yep.
for the athletes, and for country.
Yep.
Those are some of the things that we need. Now, if I am employing somebody to do a job, no, if the J3A call me tomorrow morning and say, you, Miss HP, you always talk about us on your show. We are going to offer you a position. Pitch us. Pitch us your portfolio for 5 years. I can pitch them a portfolio because I have it written on my computer because I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get them to employ me. So
Yeah.
I have a pitch. I have my portfolio ready. My
Yeah.
long-term plan, my short-term plan to get to whatever goals we need. Those are the people. You need visionaries, you need forward thinkers, you need people with a vision and a mission to get to the vision.
Yep. Most
You don't want
definitely.
people to just be there when it's time for trials. We said, okay, trials is next weekend, everything start rolling out. And it is
Mm.
the same thing all over again. We need planning, we need strategic planners.
Yep. We need
We need to
people.
start planning for LA 2028. You know that America start planning for LA, countries start planning for LA 2028 already.
Jamaica is gonna roll around to it maybe 2028. That same year it's
We
gonna
just
start rolling
wait
around.
until the trials to
Mm-hmm.
see who made the team, and then we name a team, and then we
Mm-hmm.
name a management team, and then we
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Yep.
There's no plan. If you ask how many medals do you want us to win for the country, well,
Mm-hmm.
if we medal, we medal. It can't be like that.
There's no strategic plan to target
No.
certain medals
To,
and target certain events. There's none of that. But you know why? Because the system, like I said, how the system is set up in Jamaica is the same old people, right? Just look at how it's going right now. Because I even look at just something simple as like World Athletics. World
Mhm.
Athletics, they revamp them, hire younger people. Even they're more seen on social media. The guy who's running social media for World Athletics is a former athlete, young guy in his 20s. And this is world. They don't even have World Athletics depends on the athletes,
of
right?
course.
They
Mhm.
literally repost, use athletes' name and likeness. Jamaica has all these athletes, and
But
nobody
listen,
has running the
but
structure.
Roxroy,
I
I've been
would run it.
saying it,
I would run
I've
it for
been
them.
saying it. I've been saying it, We have so many young people, young athletes with tech savvy. Even
Hmm.
Julian Fort.
Oh
Julian
man.
Fort would be a good person because he's very busy and, well,
Hmm.
used to be very busy on social media. I don't see much. But we
Hmm.
have so many young athletes where you can say, okay, let us, because it is about online present. Sometimes
Hmm.
I see World Athletics just randomly post some things
Hmm. That's how
about
they grew.
athletes
I watched them. I watched
wherever.
them. I watched them. And They
Yes,
grew. They grew because I've been following them. I followed them when they
yes,
first launched the Instagram page. It was
yes.
like
Mm-hmm.
2019. They launched it, and I watched how it grew over time. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
when they went. Because once I saw the editing change, because I'm big on that stuff too. That's why
Mm-hmm.
you can see me grow so. Because I'm like heavy into the tech. So
Yes,
I watched when they went from just okay regular posting to their edits got better and their transition got better, and I'm like, okay,
yes,
somebody young is running it. Somebody,
yes.
and then when I did
Somebody
my
who is tech
research,
savvy and
yes,
yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah,
not to me guys.
yeah.
If you type in J3, you see like three different accounts. You don't know which one is real. It's like, okay,
We have to get it right. How we have so many students. Look how many students we have in Jamaica. Student athletes. We have students. Get some of them on board as volunteers and give them, I don't know, give them extra credit or something. Let them use it.
weed out
Get
some of the younger ones.
interns. Use them as interns and
Mm-hmm.
let them and rotate them. You will
Mm-hmm.
always have, I don't know what else to say, but I'm going to be honest. As a track and field fan, as a Jamaican, it breaks my heart to see how oh, we are running our sport and we are number two in the world.
Just
Number two in the world.
imagine how athletes feel. Imagine
And
how
we don't
athletes
have
feel
any presence. We don't.
at all.
Yo, sometimes when I talk to the athletes there, man, it eat me up inside when you
Mm,
hear certain things that they say, and you see it. You're
mhm.
seeing it play out
Yeah, over and over.
every
Over and
over and
over. I see
over
it and
over.
I shake my head and I'm like, if you're a young I so even like Malik, that's a friend of mine, right? And he's calls me his big brother. And I'm like, advice to you is yo, just be patient because even right before Olympic finals, he reached out to me and he's like, "Yo, give me some advice, whatever, whatever." I'm like, just don't put any pressure on yourself. Go have fun. My goal is to reach out to the younger, at least the ones who are coming up, and tell them not to depend too much on the system because the system, once you're up now, when you run good, I see the
Mm-hmm.
minute one fast time to run or you come on this year and you run as fast as they want you or they think you can, you're gone to the wayside. So
Yes,
make
yeah.
sure you're setting yourself up. Don't just depend on their system. Set up your own
Mm-hmm.
system.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So it's tough, but if you're somebody who loves the sport, it's doable.
yeah.
Just don't depend on the Jamaica Athletics Association.
Just yeah, just have the right system
Mhm.
around you. Okay. Uh Miss Vilma Charlton is saying from I have been competing, executive members are not paid. We all have a job, need paid CEOs to do the financial business. I totally agree with you, Miss Charlton, that we need paid people to do certain job. Your finances, your planning and events, those people, you need to pay them to do the work because your organization cannot survive without marketing. Listen, we don't get it that sport is a lucrative business because, and how I know that, we don't put any emphasis on gate receipts. We
Hmm.
don't. If the track meter go on, if the stadium want empty, it empty. No marketing or any strategy how we going to bring fans into the stadium.
Mm.
No, our trials on an Olympic year or a world
There
championship
was
year,
nobody in
that
the stadium.
stadium should have never empty. The
Stadium
bleachers
empty.
should have never empty because guess what, this is the weekend, the week when all our athletes come together.
Hmm. Stadium empty. I was disappointed too.
I was so disappointed, the entire bleachers
Mm.
empty. No
It never
marketing.
used to be like that, because even 2012
Listen,
trials, stadium full.
listen.
What happened?
They during the 21st century, most of the time, because track and field in Jamaica don't miss me. The champs and the Gibson and the different meets, I am always there. And let
Yeah.
me tell you something. We are not marketing track and field. We're not pulling out people. We're not finding creative ways to pull people into the stadium. It's the same thing over and over. And if people want to come, then come. If they don't want to come, then come. 2020, before the pandemic hits in January, February in the US here, the American trials for that year, Olympic trials, was practically sold out before the pandemic hit. And the pandemic hit January, February. By
Mm-hmm.
March, the whole world locked down. And their
Mm-hmm.
trials did practically sold out. You made a good point earlier when you said you had a race 9 o'clock in the morning and you figured that the stadium would have been empty and the stadium was filled with people. Why? Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing. And Europeans are big on track and field.
Yeah.
We think we love track and field, and just a few fans love it.
We could have more core fans, but it's not
we're not
advertised.
marketing we're not marketing the events. I mean, I've said it over and over on this show. When trials this coming, one of the creative things that I would have done is to create season pass for the bleachers.
Mm.
Because the thing is, when a person buys a season pass, it motivates you to go to your event because you already spend your money. So the
Mm-hmm.
idea is to get that money into the bank, get that money out of people's pocket into the bank. So when the event come and the event is coming up, people will say, "Boy, me already buy the ticket, so I go just go." Create
Mm-hmm.
season passes for the bleachers. Create season passes for adults. Create season passes for student athletes. All the Kingston and St. Catherine student athletes can fill up the stadium
I
during
know.
during the 5 days of trials with
I
a
know.
season pass. Create a season pass for $1,000 or $1,500. Get them
Mm-mm.
to come out every day.
Yeah, I know. It's
we
tough, but
can't have we can't have multiple Olympians and world champions and this and that in the stadium running in the same night and the stadium empty.
not, not
We had a race last year with Elaine, with Shellyan, with Sherika and company. That 1, 2, 3, those three ladies finished 1, 2, 3 at the Olympic Games 2021. They finished 1, 2, 3 at the World Championship 2022, and they're competing in front of home ground and the stadium empty. Why? We're not marketing. We're not planning. We're not Roxroy. We can talk about it when.
me tap
Listen,
out long time because me
I
give
am
up on them.
very passionate about track and field Jamaica. It's something I'm
Uh,
very passionate about, and we can do better, and we can look way better, and we can
yes,
go even farther. We can be making millions.
I
Our
agree.
our sport federation in Jamaica can be one of the richest organization in
I agree.
Jamaica, but we are not doing the work to
Yeah.
get there. With that said, my next question to you is, when you look at the positives and the negatives that comes with your career, how would you describe your journey?
Um, it was a learning experience. I'm still learning, and it shows me that if you are disciplined enough and you have the right people around you, and you know you're willing to learn, you can
Yeah.
literally accomplish anything that you set yourself out to do. So, you know, the biggest thing was just being being in the right place at the right time. You know?
Amen. Mhm.
That's all it is,
Yep.
you know? Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. I have been following you on social media for a while now, and I see where you post a lot of videos. I like your videos because you post videos about training technique, the wrong
Mhm.
technique, the right technique, how the technique should look. Do you see? My question was going to be, even though you've said it before, do you see yourself coaching after you retire? But you're already coaching.
Yes, I've fully been doing it for 2.5 years. I wasn't putting the information out. Honestly, the reason why I'm getting so much traction is because not lot of coaches or athletes put their information out, right? They try to keep it to themselves and
Yeah,
not share
keep it
much of it.
close. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm kind of showing, like, tapping in and showing people that it's okay to, if you're somebody who don't have a coach and you're trying to improve, you can, you know, with the right information. So, yes, to answer your question, yes, I'm definitely. If I see people who around me who, because I've actually help a few athletes got new PBs and stuff like that. So it's a good feeling, and
Awesome, my brother. Keep
yeah.
going, keep going,
Oh
and
yeah, most
and that
definitely.
ly and that oly at the end of your name. Trust
Hmm.
me, it
Yeah.
is a big deal. That's the highest level of competition or achievement
Hmm.
in track and field, and you have earned that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to young athletes who are aspiring to become professional athletes, compete for their country, especially in your event, the 400-meter hurdles? When the going
Yeah.
gets tough, what
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
Um. So the the main thing that you have to do is understand that the 400-meter hurdles, are sprinting in general, is an individual, kind of experience, right? So don't the biggest thing is don't watch how a next person is performing, because a next person's performance is based on their effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the effort that you put in with the proper guidance, you could accomplish anything that you want. So if I'm gonna give any advice to anybody who's listening and who's trying to pursue sprinting, track and field as they're trying to take it serious. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. Don't just look at it as okay. I'm gonna go to the track and train for an hour, and then okay, I'm gonna win an Olympic gold medal, or I'm gonna make the Olympics. Right? You have to be a student. You have to study the sport. You have to be disciplined. You have to train hard. You know, be real with yourself. Right? There is 8 lanes on the track. There is 3 spots on a team. Are you doing the work? Are you good enough to get in one of those top 3 spots? And if you're not, if you think you're good enough and you do the work and you get to the championship and you get to the finals and you don't make the top 3, that means you weren't good enough. The people who finish at the top were better than you. So
Yeah.
go back to the drawing board and start over again if you're serious about it.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Miss Vilma Charlton, she's saying, Roxroy, when you retire, Cato, be sure to volunteer in some areas of the association. More of us need to become involved. Is it that athletes are not volunteering? Because I hear athletes saying that they want to be a part of it, but they cannot get in, Miss
Like I
Vilma.
said,
She
like I
also
said,
said, hold on, baby. She also said free bleachers tickets are given out for national championships, but very few take up the offer. Every
really?
area needs specialists. But Miss Vilma, I call her Auntie
When?
Vilma. But Auntie Vilma, we have to start advertising and promoting it
Free
early.
tickets?
Say
No, they
saying
don't.
free bleachers ticket the day
Where?
before or the week of trials. Won't help. We have to be running it for a period of time and create a buzz around it, create a vibe and all of that. So
What?
yes, yes.
But
So
yeah,
Roxroy, Miss Vilma
to,
is saying that they need people, so you need to volunteer. But
I
I
am
hear
volunteering.
athletes saying that they've tried to get in, but they can't get in. And the thing is that we have so many good athletes, former athletes who are coaches around the world who are doing so much better in other places of the world except Jamaica.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So even for me volunteering my services is helping my high school and helping younger athletes. Because if you try to go volunteer service in this one specific place, there is people who are safeguarding certain positions in there where they're not gonna go anywhere. Right? So even if you go in there and you try to go volunteer, you don't have any power. You can't really say nothing or do anything. So
Even
the
if you have
grassroots
good advice,
the
will they?
grassroots is where it's at. The grassroots is where it's at. The younger athletes open their eyes and show them that, this is the system. Learn the system, but make good decisions.
Indeed, indeed. We really need to we man we Jamaica is a powerhouse of the Caribbean. Jamaica is a powerhouse of the Caribbean, and not just in track and field. In most sport that you can think of, Jamaica is a powerhouse in the Caribbean. Jamaica is the most popular country in the world. If
Hmm.
you people who use social media a lot like myself, when you're on social media, every other person you see mimicking a country is a Jamaican country. They're either trying to talk our language, or they're
Yeah.
trying to cook our food, or I watched a video recently. A young lady, she said she's from Barbados, and she put out this video and she said, "Look, people of the world, Jamaica is not the only country in the Caribbean." Because she said everywhere she go and she said she's from the island. The minute she said she's from the Caribbean, people assume it's Jamaica.
Yeah.
So we just need to get those things right. But just to wrap up, because I know we went off and we gone over 2 hours, which is fine by me. But now I'm going to ask you some random questions. I'm going to pick your brain and see how well you know the sport. Um Drew Ross, aka Drew Fortis. Welcome, Fortis. Fortis is in the house. He's saying good chat. Miss Vilma is saying they are interested in boys' champs, not even girls' champs. This
Yeah.
is why we had to merge boys and girls' champs. Auntie Vilma, I think if we promote it the right way, we can get more people in the stadium. And I'm going to give you an example. I know the track and field calendar in Jamaica because I've been watching track and field before I was a teenager, from 1980, before I was a teenager. And I have an idea of the track and field calendar. And I remember when I said to somebody, I'm going to Jamaica for the trials. Somebody turned to me and said, when is the trials? And this person is supposed to be a track fan. And I said to them,
Yes.
but you're not a track fan. If you were a track fan, you would know. The point I'm trying to make is that we're not promoting it. Marketing, you have to push it at people. Put it in here, get it in their emotions, push it at them. Everywhere they go on social media, they will see something. Put it in the ads. You don't even have to spend a lot of money anymore for advertising. When I was doing my master's in sport management, I was given a 5K event to plan. No, I've never planned a 5K before. I was all by myself. I was an intern and I was at the YMCA and they said, okay, we want you to plan a 5K event. And I planned that event without a budget and it was a success. At the day of the event, the directors and everybody were in a room talking and they were saying, who planned this event? We need them to do it next year. And somebody pointed at me and said, is a Jamaican over there. She's just an intern. So the point I'm trying to make, if you promote, suppose you see, I print flyers, I went to every business place and pin them up. I call up people and I beg sponsorship, whether we can get money, whether we can get people to come volunteer, whether we can get somebody to volunteer the shirts. You have to know how to plan your event. And one of the things that you have to do, you have to know how to beg. And we beg food, we beg water, we beg electrolytes, we beg t-shirts, we beg everything. And the event was a success. So, Auntie Vilma, we have to promote our events. We cannot wait until the week of
Yeah.
trials to be saying, I remember the last time we hosted the Character Gives 2022, the day, I think the final there, the day before they were going to make the bleachers free, they announced that okay, tomorrow the bleachers is free. You can't do it like that. How many people is going to get up tomorrow and just come?
Yeah. People have to plan out.
Push it at them, continuously push it at them. Let them see it everywhere they turn, and they will turn up. But
Mhm.
going to pick your brain now. It's a short quiz. How many laps are there in the 1500 meters?
In the 1500, three and a
Yes.
half.
No, I know this one would catch you because it catch a lot of people. It's actually 3 and 3/4.
Ugh.
Yes,
Three and
because it
three
starts at
quarters.
the, yes, 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 yes.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry
they started
about
when they
it's a
started at the 300.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a trick question because
Yeah.
the 1500 starts at the 300-meter mark
Oh
and then they
yeah.
do 3 full laps.
Oh yeah. And a crazy thing is I used to run the 1500.
Yeah, man. Is that listen? This question it
Mm-hmm.
tricked. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
coaches, because the first thing they say is 3.5.
Yeah.
It's actually 3 and 3/4.
Yeah.
What does the acronym DQ means? I asked this question and somebody said Donald Quarry.
DQ in track and field?
Yes, these are all
Disqualified?
track and field. Yes, these are all track and field questions. What does the acronym J3As mean?
Jamaica Athletics Association.
Yeah, Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association.
Oh,
When we say a race is loaded in track and field, what do we mean?
that means we have all the top dogs in there.
Yes, it's very competitive. Yes, indeed. Because you know why I choose this question? I was watching a track and field meet, and I heard a commentator said, "This field is loaded," but
Mm-hmm.
what he meant was that it is a full field. All 8 lanes
Oh
are
no.
occupied. So I had to say to him, in track and field, a loaded field means that all the top guns are
Yep.
the race is very, very
Like the one
com-
like the 100-meter finals at this year Olympics.
yeah, yes, yes, yes,
You
yes,
you
yes,
know
yes,
you know
yes.
you know yeah, I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. Remember I said this. So no disrespect to Noah Lyles. He's a good athlete. I love him, but he's not gonna win that 100-meter title again. I think that boy Kishane is gonna hold that title for the next three,
Yes,
four,
yeah,
five till the next
yeah,
Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you talk about that 100. You know something before that 100-meter ran on when was it? August. I think it was August 3rd. August
Mm-hmm.
3rd. No, August 4th. And somebody said to me, who I think will win. I was on a live. I was on my live and it came up. And I said to them, that race is going to take a lean to
Mm-hmm.
win.
Yep.
Of course,
Smart man, the
sometimes
smartest man is gonna win.
Jamaicans don't look at other competitors. I said to them, the person who lean the best will win.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, everybody get on my case and them say, "Oh, Kishane can't lose. Oh, that if I run close to Kishane."
I
And
mean,
I turned to them and
everybody.
I said, guys, this is the Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going to sit down and hand it to anybody. You will have to work for it. And
Yep.
no disrespect to Kishin because I'm a Jamaican, but I know that Noah Lyles would not get the better start. But when you talk about his
Mm-hmm.
finish, I always compare to Karen Stewart and Veronica Campbell Brown. 2007, Veronica
Mm-hmm.
Campbell was left in the blocks, and
Yeah.
Veronica Campbell came back and lean and win
Mm-hmm.
that 100-meter in Osaka, Japan.
Yeah.
It took the officials about a good minute and a half to decide for who win that race, if it was
Yep.
Veronica or Lauren Williams from the United States.
Yeah.
And when I
I know.
said to them, Aline would win, they said, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I
I
said, guys,
know.
I'm watching track and field long enough to know that an Olympic final is not a normal race.
At all.
You have to work for it and you better can lean. And so said, so done. Which event is known as the half lap event?
half lap. Half lap event.
Half lap
200.
event. 200, yes.
Oh,
You
I'm
said
like,
200, right?
yeah, I said
What?
200. I was like,
Yes, it's
half
a
lap event.
200. Yes, yeah. A
Oh,
lot of
oh.
commentators.
I thought it was called a long sprint.
No, some commentators call it the half lap event, which it makes sense because it's half of
Yeah,
the track. Yeah.
yeah, it's my favorite event in
Um,
track and field.
200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. When there is a small queue beside
Mm-hmm.
an athlete's
That's it.
name
I've had a few of
in
those.
during during qualification rounds, what does it mean?
Small Q. That means
Yes.
you didn't qualify with the automatic standard. That means your
Perfect.
time you're gonna get in there on time.
Yes.
Athletes,
Perfect.
well,
Perfect.
that's what what's his name did. He did it smart. Hyde.
Jail Hyde.
Yeah, small Q and get
Yeah.
in, no pressure.
And push him up to lane 8. But I
Yeah.
mean, he could have gotten, I mean, he took a chance because he could
No,
have
he
gotten
wanted
lane
that
1 or
lane.
lane 2.
He wanted that lane though.
He won. Oh, okay, cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know some athletes
Hmm.
have their preferred lane. What does the acronyms WR and CR means in track and field? WR and CR.
WR,
Mhm.
WR is world record, right?
Yes.
And CR is championship record.
Sure. Man, know the sport. Yep, you are
Oh
correct.
yeah.
Okay, true or false? The fastest man in the world is always a person that wins the Olympic or world championship. Let me go
Uh,
again. Let me say it again. Because this one is tricky. The fastest person in the world is always the person that wins the Olympic or the world championship
I
title.
think that's falls, right? That's
That's
definitely
false.
falls.
That's false.
Because Kishane was the fastest man last year, and he was nowhere to be found.
Ah,
Nobody
there
even
you
know who
go.
he was, and I was like,
There
"Oh,
you go.
Kishane."
There you go. There you go. And Kishane, the season closed out with Kishane Thompson being the fastest man in the world,
Hmm.
and Noah Lyles was the Olympic champion. And the reason why I asked this question because they keep promoting Noah Lyles as the fastest man
No,
in the
he
world
promotes himself that way.
no, but even he appeared on television programs here and they
Mhm.
introduce him as the fastest man in the world in the 100 meters and I'm like, come on, the fastest man in the world is a person. Track and field track events is about time,
Mhm.
and the fastest man in the world is a person who runs the fastest time.
I mean, we know that.
So this thing that they're doing, that he's the fastest man in the world, there, It's just crazy. So
I mean, I guess
that
I
was
guess it
why
I
I
guess
said that.
it brings a little bit of attention to him. It's good for him, I guess.
I guess when it is said that an athlete pull up in a race, what does it mean?
They got hurt, toward their hamstring, I guess.
Yep, yep, yep. It means the athlete
Oh
felt
my god.
uncomfortable or unbearable pain. Yeah, you're right.
Mm.
How many meters? How many meters or laps are there in a mile race? How many meters or laps are there in a mile race?
Is it 4 laps?
4 laps is right. 1,600 meters. Yeah,
I
four
know,
laps.
I know what I'm talking about. Somebody over
Yes.
here is saying no.
Who is saying no? Your wife?
Yes.
Yes, it's 4 laps. Yeah, a mile is 1,600 meters. Okay, here's another one. True or false? The NOC and the JOA are the same organization in Jamaica. Let me say that one more time. The NOC and the JOA are the same organization in Jamaica. True
Is
or
this
false?
so J-O, you said J-O-A?
JOA and the NOC. I'll tell you what the NOC means afterwards.
Okay, I know the J-O-A. I know that for sure. I've never heard of
Yeah,
any. I've are they the same?
they
False?
are the same.
They are?
NOC is the National Olympic Committee for a country.
Oh.
Yeah. So your NOC and the JOA in Jamaica is the same, but it's just that the IOC calls it the NOC, which is
Mm.
the National Olympic Committee in
Okay.
Jamaica. But you did good. You did good. You did good. You did good. But just to wrap up now, you've been to two Olympic Games, 2012, 2016. Which is your most memorable?
um, Definitely 2016, because
Why?
because I was more prepared. I made it out the first round. In my opinion, it was a way better championship. It was good, and the experience was good too. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Hurdlers, well, hurdlers from Jamaica, our sprint
Mhm.
hurdlers or quarter hurdlers, normally you guys don't get an opportunity to run on any relay.
Hmm.
Now, at a global championship, if you get an opportunity to run on the 4x14, which leg would be your preferred leg?
Actually, I've run on 4x4 before for Jamaica.
Where? Which championship?
It's the CSC games. We actually still have the record. It was down there in Puerto Rico. I think it's 2011. If it's not 2011, it's 2011. So
Okay.
it was down there in Puerto Rico. We ran 3:01. It's still the record. It's still the record. I ran the
What
third
leg?
leg.
What leg? The third leg. Okay.
So in
Okay.
university, I'm always the anchor leg, but if ever I'm on the Jamaica team, they always seem to put me on the third leg for some reason.
I've heard so many of our athletes who have attended university overseas said that even if you're a sprinter, you're
Hmm.
running 4x4. Aileen
Yeah,
Bailey told me the
yeah.
same thing. She said she had to
Jumpers
run four
everywhere.
by four while she was in university. Wow. You were born in St. Mary. You grew up in the West. Now listen to this. You were born in St. Mary. You grew up in the West, Westmoreland, and then Hanover. Now that's three parishes. Which parish should claim you as their Olympian? Look at how you're gonna get beaten now.
Definitely St. Mary.
St. Mary,
Yeah, for sure.
for sure.
Yeah,
I like that. I like
yeah.
that. I mean, St. Mary is your roots.
Yes,
I like
definitely
that.
St.
So
Mary.
so
That's
in
where I
my
get the
data
most.
so in my database, I will
Mm.
have three parishes for you. St. Mary, Westmoreland, and Hanover. But I
Mm,
like that. Yes, St.
mm,
Mary is your roots.
mm.
Which bush tea is your favorite? You're a Jamaican?
Yeah, fever grass. Like fever grass. That's funny.
Oh, fever grass. Oh, you never like the Cersei, don't.
No, I don't like the serious at all. I can't deal with it.
No, I never liked the Cersei as a child either. But I love it now though. I love it.
Mm,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
What is your favorite food?
For anything, damn, I'm so picky when it comes down to food.
Yeah,
But I
you're an
like,
athlete.
yeah, but I don't know. I'm not. If I have to really go deep, and if it's something that where I'm like, okay, if I would choose this
Hold on,
any
before you
day,
answer, before you answer, I love these.
just kidding.
I love these people in the comments.
Because I know this person. That's why he's doing this. I know him.
Marlon,
Oh,
Marlon,
God.
welcome,
He's
welcome,
bringing back. He's
Marlon.
bringing back some
Marlon
memories. Some memories.
Learmond. Marlon is saying, guys, let me tell you what Marlon is saying. Marlon is saying, Roxroy favorite food is chicken back. Of course, chicken back.
I can't even knock him on that. He's probably right.
Chicken back and dumpling.
I like
Chicken
chicken back
back,
for real though.
indeed. Before we go any
Yeah,
further, let me see some of
yeah.
these
Aki and Sawfish. I
comments.
definitely
These
Aki
guys
and
are
Sawfish.
cracking me up. Oh yeah, man. Every Jamaican love. If you don't like ackee and saltfish, you're not from Jamaica. Rymars is saying. Rymars Track Club is saying. True, we need board management. Agreeing to that. Miss Vilma is saying we take the tickets to some schools to give them to the teachers and coaches. Okay. Distance running is saying blessed up. She's saying blessed night.
Mm,
Distant running is a very good friend of mine. Actually, she is one of the few female coaches in Jamaica. She is
mm.
out of Camperdown, the Sprint
Oh,
Factory.
wow.
Bless up yourself, distance running. Say hi to the athlete for me, the athletes for me.
Mm.
Jen. Marlon is saying Wicked Man Cato, bad chef, out a track. Wait.
Yeah, man. Top Chef still until this day. Actually, my skills are way better now.
Wow, top chef. What's your favorite thing to cook?
I make
Chicken back?
anything. I make anything from scratch and make it taste good.
Lovely, lovely. I love that. I love that. I love that. What is your favorite genre of music?
Oh wow. Um, I like
Reggae.
yes, I like culture music. I like anything with like meaning behind it. So like I don't know if you know maybe like Chronics. I don't know if you know
Yeah, man.
Chronics.
Yes, man. Yes, man. I'm big
Yes,
in the arts. Yeah. Sports
yes,
and arts. That's my thing. Yeah.
yeah. So I like that, and I like jazz too. I like
Mm-hmm.
slow jazz. I like jazz rap. So whereas like jazz beats and people are rapping over the jazz beats, I like that too. Everything.
Which
So it all depends on
song?
the
Which
mood.
song is that one song that you listen to most when you're training? Do you train with music?
No.
No.
The
Okay.
music could be playing in the background, but I don't have, and
Oh,
it's
you
just
don't have it in
random.
your
Yeah,
ears.
no,
Okay.
it's just no, just
Okay.
random
Okay. Okay.
songs.
Okay. Okay. Before
Sometimes I
we
will have
go.
like a song. Sometimes I'll have one song where I'm listening to, and then tomorrow I'm listening to something else.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Before we go any further, distance running is saying, yeah, the coaches do get bleachers ticket for national trials. And
Mm,
she also saying Jennifer is watching and saying hi. Hey
mm.
Jen, welcome, welcome. Your time is coming to be on this show. Who is your favorite athlete?
Mm. Oh wow.
Let
Ooh.
the puss out of the bag. Who is your favorite athlete, sir? I don't want anybody to ever ask me that
You
question.
write it so tough, but
Yes, it is.
if I had to go with anybody, definitely
All right, let me make it easier for you. Who is your favorite Jamaican athlete and who is
okay.
your favorite other athlete?
Oh, okay. Because I was okay. My
Yes.
favorite Jamaican athlete is gonna be Michael Freta.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, he got dropped, guys. Hopefully. Okay, here he is rejoining us. Here he is. Okay.
Yeah. So
Michael Frater.
yeah, and then
Okay.
for like an overseas athlete, I like Gatlin. That's gonna be my number two guy.
Okay.
Um, that's about it.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
My next question is when you're not doing track and field business,
Hmm.
what do you like to do?
Uh, damn.
Sleep.
I'm I'm you're right. I'm always doing track and field. But I like to cook. Sometimes I'll cook. But otherwise
Okay.
from that, if it's not me training, I'm training somebody or I'm trying to figure out way to spread information about track and field.
Yes. Sounds like what I do. Yeah.
So yeah.
Distance running is saying her favorite athlete is VCB. And for
I
those
know
who don't
that's
know
ooh,
who VCB is the great Veronica Campbell
I saw her at
Brown.
tryouts this year too. She walked in
Yes,
with
I
her
saw her.
husband
Yes, she was at tryouts,
and the
and
little one.
I
I saw
got
the little
pictures
kids.
with her. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I got pictures with her. The great VCB man.
yeah. I made a
Great.
few teams with her, and she's very humble.
Yes, yes, yes. Veronica, that's Veronica for you. Outside of track and field, which other sport do you fancy
Uh,
or like?
I like soccer. I like
Hmm,
cricket. Um,
okay.
I like. I don't know if pool is a sport, a major sport, but I watch it because the people play it competitively, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very. I like it.
Awesome,
From that,
awesome.
yeah.
If you were to choose another track and field event to do, if it wasn't the 400-meter hurdles, which event would it
The
be?
200. For some reason, I
200.
think I'm very fast in the 200. I'm not very fast in the 200, but you cannot tell me I'm not fast.
That's a good event. That was my favorite event when I was doing track too.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
200. It's so
There's
fun.
something about the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about that curve. Even if you
Yeah.
come last, but there's
Yep.
something about that
For
running
me,
that
it's
curve.
like, okay, I run the 400-meter hurdles. So if you are not stronger than me, the only way you're gonna beat me is if you're faster than me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
And we've seen some awesome 200-meter. Let me tell you, Jamaica have some super 200-meter runners
you have
over.
the best in the world.
Listen, listen, man. We have some. When you talk about Mr. Donald Corey back in 1976 from in Canada, Montreal, Canada, I think he won from lane one or lane two. He
Man was running
won
like
the
he
night.
was 6'3".
Yes, Donald Quarry. When you talk about Veronica Campbell off the curve again, VCB again, she made listen. Veronica Campbell, bro, make 200 look like the best event ever. I swear. When you see
I know.
Johan Blake on that
I
curve,
know.
Usain Bolt, Beverly McDonald, Merlene Ottey,
Mm,
I've
I
seen
know.
some real Brianna Liston.
I know. It's art in motion.
Art in motion, indeed, indeed. And another very good curve runner too is Jenna Prendini from the United States.
Oh yeah.
When you see her run that curve, man.
Hmm.
And there was another girl from America, Bianca Knight.
Yes,
I
I
don't know
remember
how.
her.
Yes, I
I
don't know how
remember
much
her.
you know the American
Yes.
athletes, but Bianca Knight was
Yeah.
another. The 200 is just,
Yeah.
as you said, art to watch. More comments are coming in.
Yes.
Distance running is saying, I like Cato's drill videos on Instagram. They are very helpful. Distance running, let me tell you, I post them like as I see them, I post them on my story. I really like to see your drill videos also. Awesome
I
stuff.
have some new ones coming. Some fun ones coming. We're
Yeah,
gonna have
man, I
some
look
fun.
forward. I look forward to them. Most of the people I follow on social media are athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly athletes I follow. JJR is saying 2010. JJR, what happened 2010? Is she talking about champs 2010? This time, oh yes, another smooth runner in the 200-meter is Elaine
Yeah,
Thompson Hera.
she's
Yeah,
smooth.
man. Yeah, very, 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 very smooth indeed,
Mm.
indeed. But let me tell, and another very good curve runner, Aileen Bailey. Oh
Yep.
my word, Aileen eat up that curve like whoo. Yep,
Hmm.
we've seen some real good curve runners in the 200 meters from
Yes.
Jamaica. Wayne Walsh is saying Daniel England. See there, that my good friend Daniel England. I hope he's not mad at me, but Daniel England too was another one that was so many of them. The 200-meter is just something. It is as you said, art in motion.
Yep.
Distance running is saying she saved your drills. Wow. Well, I have a lot of them on my. I will share them on my story.
Mm.
She said I can't demonstrate to save my life. So I guess you're helping her. She's
I
actually
know.
one of the coaches at Camperdown
That's the
High
goal.
School. So you see, you're influencing other coaches.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the idea. One Jamaica, right?
Yes.
One Jamaica, indeed. My next question is, oh, you said the 200. How would you say participating in sport has helped you as an individual overall?
Um, Sports has taught me discipline, um, and how to have an open mind and how to accept the good with the bad and accept failures and stuff like that. So it helped me in my personal life, as in when something comes up in my life, I'm not afraid to face the challenges because I challenge myself or I get out of my comfort zone whenever I'm trying to prepare for a track meet or prepare for a meet. And if I could get through that, then, anything that comes along in life, I could get through it too. So that's how sports kind of help me to, um, you know, manage my day
Indeed,
to day life.
indeed, indeed. Marlon is saying, Kato, what's the difference? What's the difference training overseas and training in Jamaica? Very good
Mm.
question, Marlon.
It depends on where you are overseas. If you're in Florida, it's gonna feel just like Jamaica, but with better resources and better access to facilities for recovery and stuff like that. But here too, because if you're training where I am in Canada, I have access to better recovery systems and better access to just stuff when it comes on to just upkeep of track and field, like maintaining your body and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But in terms of the difference, there's no major difference. If you have a good coach, it doesn't matter where you are, right? Doesn't
It's
matter where
just
you are.
about the resources.
Yes, it's just about having a good coach, good system, and resources. Because if you have a good coach in Jamaica, and your coach has a good system set up, you'll be all right. And if you could be where I'm at, where you have it's cold, but you have indoor facilities that you could train at. So it's all about just finding a good coach. That's the biggest thing.
We have a lot of clubs in Jamaica, some of the top clubs. We have MVP, we have Racers, we have Swept, we have Elite, we have Legacy, we have Sprintec. But my thing is the facility is not enough.
Hmm. They're
It's
trying
not
now.
enough.
I see more tracks coming, but
We
the
need
main.
more tracks, we need more training grounds. If it's even grass.
Yep.
Yeah, we need more because all these clubs they have to be sharing,
Hmm.
and we're
Conflict of interest
producing,
too.
yeah, we're producing more athletes, and so we really need to be looking at more facilities, building more facilities, and
Mm.
allowing our coaches and athletes access so that they can better prepare themselves for national duties. Distance running is saying we need more facilities here. True, the schools and clubs have to be making themselves small to train on the same place. The same thing I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have so many people who are either going to UE or to Stadium East, or even I don't know if schools are using like JC and Calabar who has track. I'm not sure about Kingston College, but we really do need more facility, and we need to spread out in Jamaica. All our
Yeah.
track clubs are in Kingston. We need to really spread out in Jamaica. I would love to hear of a track club in Montego Bay doing well. A track club either in Manchester or St. Elizabeth doing well, and they have their facility. But everybody have to be moving into Kingston, and it becomes so expensive for athletes coming from out of town because they have to find boarding. They
Hmm.
have to pay rent, and it is just so much
Yeah.
that everything is just jammed up in Kingston. Marlon is saying, especially in the central region, there was Jamalco, but then there is no more. You're right, Marlon. There used to be Jamalco. There used to be Jamalco, I think is where in Linstead, Yuatan side. Then there used to be, I think, Kurt Vine,
Hmm.
but we really need to look at training, setting up community training facility, and then parishes or regions can maintain or sustain those facilities or something,
Yeah.
but the questions keep coming, and like they don't want us to leave here tonight,
I know, man.
Roxroy.
I'm have to wake up early.
And you have to wake. I mean, I have to wake up early to for work. Marlon is also saying everyone have to go to Kingston to train. I totally agree with you. Distant running is saying Calabar, JC, and some will go to KC. Then others have to go to GC Foster. It tight. It is very very tight. Distance running is saying the athletes on the west suffer more too, especially when it's high school track season. Then they have
Mhm.
to travel to Kingston. Yes, we need to be spreading out in Jamaica. It's not just about Kingston, because a lot of our Olympians and outstanding athletes, they're from outside of Kingston.
Mhm.
A lot
90,
of
I
them,
think
when you
95% of them are from
a
outside.
lot of them, when you talk about St. Mary, when you talk about Trelawney, when you talk about St. Anne, when you talk about Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, a lot of our athletes, our outstanding athletes, are from outside of Kingston. But everybody have to pack up their bags, come into Kingston, find a place to live. I mean, these are youngsters. Where are they going to find money to pay rent in
I know.
Kingston? So we have to start looking. One of my dream, and I hope I can do it before I die, is I would love to build a facility with boarding.
Hmm.
That is one of my dream, and I normally have these big dreams, and I know my friend distance running, she's laughing at me now, but I would love to build a facility with like three different tracks, and it has boarding facility. That I
Mm.
would love to do. So I hope somebody hear it and call me and say, look, let us do something. Oh my God, the comments are still coming. You want to read that one, Roxroy, the one that says from distant running at the bottom?
Mm. It says, yep, out of schools in the west are central, out of space or tracks and get even. Yeah, I understand where she's
Yeah,
coming
that's
from.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. A lot of the schools in the Western Central have to
Yeah.
have the space to get a track. I know it's not easy, but the needs start coming up and ways to make it happen. Yeah, we need to make it happen. We let me tell you, if I had the money, that's where my money would go. In a facility and boarding and something. But yeah, Roxroy getting sleepy, guys. We have to go now. My last question is, and then you're going to ask me a question. When
Mhm.
you retire from the sport, what do you want people to remember most about your legacy?
Um, just the inspiration that I try to give to younger athletes and the openness of what it means to be an athlete, and truly being in love with the sport and not just in it for a quick
Yep,
buck.
yep.
So, you
Got you there.
know.
Roxroy Cato, two-time Olympian, from St. Mary to Hanover to Westmoreland to Lincoln University, no, to
Yes,
UTech, to Lincoln University, to St. Augustine, Roxroy Cato, to Canada. It was
yes,
indeed
ma'am.
a pleasure having you here. Look at it, almost 3 hours. Now, I don't know, but I am yet to get my interviews to be under an hour, because there's so much to talk about. But
I
this
know.
discussion,
Yeah.
I love it. And thank you for taking the time out to be here, to share your story with us, to just talk about the sport that we love so much and the country that we love so much. Thank you for being here. Now I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me two questions. There's a reason why I give you two questions. So shoot and let me shoot back.
Okay. First question: were you ever an athlete growing up?
Yes, I was. I did
Okay.
track. I did the 200. The 200 was my
Oh,
event.
that was
Yeah.
gonna be my next question. What was your event that you did?
The
Two
200 was
hundred.
my event.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
My dream too was, I so wanted to run at the Olympic Games, but at least at it was cut short because of, parents'
Mm-hmm.
decision that I guess back in the 80s, they think that we only go to school to run up and down. So my
Mm-hmm.
father thing was he's not sending me to school to run up and down. And that was it. I didn't get to pursue. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I did track.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm.
That's it. Any other question?
Um, my okay, I get the next one. My next question for you is, what motivated you to start this podcast slash YouTube channel talking
You
about track and
guys,
field? Okay.
you guys, the athletes, the bottom line to summarize it,
Mm-hmm.
the athletes, I wanted to know about you guys and I wanted to share you guys and share your legacy and Jamaica track and field legacy with the world.
Okay. Appreciate that. That's good. That's good. Sounds like what
And
I'm trying to do too.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'd love to come
I
on
love the
again. So if you want me to
yes.
come on again, you let me know.
Of course, of course, of course, because we need to talk about other things. But I personally want to thank you, which I normally do, to say thanks to the athletes for what they have done for Jamaica, for representing us, put us on the map, wearing that nice color, those nice colors. Every time I see a Jamaican in a race, I tell you, I feel good. It's a
Yeah.
good feeling, and I love the sport. I'm very passionate about it. I want to see it grow. I want to see us look professional, look like we are the boss kind of thing. I really, really want to see that. And I just want to thank you for your service to us, and I hope to see you next season. I hope to see you.
Question mark.
I know, sweetheart. I
Question
know.
mark. We'll see. We'll see how
I
it
know.
goes.
I know. We'll see. But thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
being here. And it was a pleasure talking to you. I didn't even realize the time was running so fast. But thank you very much. And I'll continue to follow you. And there is something I'm going to run by you off air.
Okay.
Okay, so I will talk after that.
Okay.
But guys, thank you all for being here tonight. All of you, and of course, they're sending you more and more love,
Yeah.
Roxroy, from
Respect to
everyone.
everybody who tuned in. You know.
Yes.
Hope to
And
see you guys
remember,
again.
guys, indeed, indeed. Remember, guys, Rymar's Track Club is having their community track and field event in St. Mary next week, the 31st of October. Please, guys, go out and support. I wish I was there to support because St. Mary, I'm not from St. Mary, but I have started my grassroots program in St. Mary. So I have become a darling of the parish. So go out and support, and guys, there's a link in the comment section if you want to support. So, guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. And I know that Roxroy's wife, she is in the shadows supporting. Thank you very much, Mrs. Cato, for allowing him to come on
Yeah.
and talk to us tonight. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. And of course, she too is a part of us. One Jamaica, we say. Roxroy, thank you very much. And thank you very much, guys, for being here, and all the Olympians and all the athletes and everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you very much. Wayne Walsh is saying, St. Mary, Man, Cape Town Parish. Of course, St. Mary have produced some outstanding people, both in music, in the arts, and also in sports. When you talk about Cape Town, you talk about Ninja Man. When you talk about Marian Hall, aka Lady Saw. You talk about
Mm.
Tanya Stevens. You talk about Jackie Pusey in track and field, Lilith Hodges, Nicole Mitchell, Roxroy Cato. So many people. Beverly McDonald, Michael McDonald, Aileen Bailey. It is just outstanding how much St. Mary has contributed to our track and field legacy. And with that said, guys, thank you all very much for being here, and we will see you soon. Have a great weekend. And guys, please remember my birthday is coming up on Monday, so please remember to send me birthday wishes. And I also want to send a happy belated birthday to Olympian Ruth William Simpson, and also Regina Montague will be having a birthday on the 26th, which will be Sunday, I think. So, guys, thank you very much, and See you next week, guys. You don't want to miss next week. Next week, we are going to have the story of an Olympian from 1948. You don't want to miss that. See you guys next week. Have a great week and be safe. Have a great weekend. Bye.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it, finish line is all I see. Get up on, no, don't stop. Future bright, the vibes nice, oh gosh. No time for slow down, just sprint, can't lapse. We walk the talk, just ask me both tracks. So come through, let's talk about it, what you say? Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said? Make we chat about it. Or on left, make we chat about it. Check and feel at the topic. Oh, make we chat about it. Latest news, make we chat about it. All your views, make we chat about it.
Track and feel, chat for set. With the girl HP.